Hello, hello. Hi, Danny. How you doing? What's up, Dan? Uh, oh. So, Danny, the 6-inch coil didn't from the Knox didn't work that well in the Xterra, huh? I wonder if it's something to do with the soil conditions because I notice other people use them. Marlin, how you doing? That aren't having too many problems, but I notice here where I've got highly mineralized ground, red clay and stuff, that BDI is jumpier than in some spots than others. Way jumpier. Cynthia, my love. So, excuse me. So that's what I've noticed. Marlon, you loving your Xterra? You're really, you set up a tent? Now, Danny beat you, though. Well, he was here anyways. Dan, come back. Hi, Joe. How you doing? Oh, there you are. So, so Marlon, what are your thoughts on your Xterra? Do you love it? Hate it? Still on the fence? What? I want to know. I think they need to do an update on the and get that jumpy VDI off of there. Hi, Mark.
Oh, there I am. What's
Uh,
up?
not much. Just trying to stay awake.
Know the feeling. Yeah, I got my camera like sort of kind of jerry rigged. I'm just hoping it doesn't fall.
Yeah, mine died just before people started coming on. I'm going, oh shit! And I had to shut everything down and start it over again.
Well, if mine falls, you guys are gonna get an eyeful.
Oh, Marlon, you like the Xterra more than the does the range on the VDI or what?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull this up. Ah, there we go. Just getting the chat and popping out the chat so I can see what's going on in the world.
No, I've been they put me on a new med. Well, it's not new. I took it last year for a couple weeks. It didn't seem to do any difference. It's for asthma or allergies called Montelukast.
Monoclast.
Huh?
Monoclast?
Montelukast.
Yeah.
M-O-N.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, after about 10 days, I just every day I've been feeling really fatigued and tired. So I thought, what have I changed? I went, oh, that new bed. I look at it. Oh, that's one of the normal kind of reactions people can have is being really fatigued. Okay, I'm going to quit taking this because I can put up with the allergies more than I can just laying in bed all day.
Oh, hell yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, Jim.
Oh, okay, Danny. The VDIs on that Xterra tend to jump around more in certain spots than other due to the mineralization in the ground, even with it set at zero. Ground balance is zero. Hi, Jim. How you doing? And
Cynthia.
I guess that if you got fairly decent to only not too bad a ground, it's great. But you get in mineralized ground, and that VDI number can be all over the place, especially in 5 kilohertz for some reason. I don't know why.
What frequencies does the Xterra have?
8 for beach, and then for field park, you can go 5, 10, and 15.
Okay.
And you do have all metal mode, but now, like the thing is, hi Tony. With the Vanquish, you noise cancel and go because it runs all the frequencies at the same time.
Right.
Now they don't give you a manual with the Xterra. You got to go online and download it, and it
I
tells you you really should do a noise cancel every time you change the mode or the frequency,
Okay.
which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I
Hey,
know
Tracy.
that tended to help, but the best thing that's worked for me so far down at the recreation area, like I said, I got no beats here, was beach mode, 8 kilohertz. 5 kilohertz was just like VDI got really weird.
Mm-hmm.
10 was better, 15 was better, but for some reason, the beach mode and 8 kilohertz worked really well. Didn't jump around as much. So I'm hoping, I understand somebody said the Legend had that problem when they first came out and they did an upgrade and worked it out, or one of them.
Yeah. I got mine after the second or third update, so I didn't have that issue.
Yeah. Run hill, I'm having trouble walking. Yeah, Jim, I understand that. Believe me.
So, Jim, I guess you feel the same way. Hit by a Mack truck and then run over by a Pat bus and then left to lay there and rot in the sun.
Running 15, try to get 15 and 10 are to me are about the same, Danny. But I mean, it's pretty. Those are both pretty stable compared to 5. 10 seems to be a little more stable than the 15. But.
Hey, 717.
Hi, 717 Orlando. How you doing? Finding goodies too. Welcome. But once they get that ironed out, the rest of the machine is great. It's just that really jumpy VDI number can drive you nuts.
No, I believe that.
And oh, wait a minute, that. There we go. Get rid of. Had an echo there. I forgot to turn off sound on YouTube.
Love you long time too, Jason.
Jason, there's our third evil twin.
Yeah. I went out the other day, Bill, had the headphones on, plugged the cable in, and I'm wondering why nothing is coming out of these headphones. It's dead silent. I don't know if you can see, but I broke the tip off.
Oh, crap.
I explained a lot.
Yeah. That's why I don't use wired headphones. I'll use the cheap earbuds from the dollar store because they're only you can buy the packages 2 for $1. And you're not out a whole lot because I do the same thing. I even have to get the extension cable because they're just too short otherwise.
Yeah.
And I hate ripping my ears off my head.
What's Dan say? He was told the way he swings it causes the VDI to jump.
Yeah.
Well, if you swing it by the coil, it doesn't work that well. With the unit on the bottom, if you switch it around and you have the unit up top and the coil on the ground, I think it might work a little better, Dan.
Danny, I don't buy that because I swing the Vanquish the same way as the Xterra and other detectors. I can't see that being, can affect it that much. If you don't have your coil wire up fairly tight, the coil wire jumping around will make it jump. But
Mary's here, Bill. We got to leave.
Who's here?
Autism Mary. We got to leave.
Oh, hi, Mary.
Mary's here.
Hello, Buddy Biggs. Marty V.
Hey, Marty.
Mary. So about the last 4 or 5 days, I just been some drugs. So it's like I got to knock that crap off. And then I also discovered, I keep forgetting this. Tennessee's like a jungle because it rains like hell all the time.
Okay.
So if it rains one day, you want to go out the next day, especially where there's water around and trees, you do it early in the morning before it starts getting warm and all the freaking bugs start coming out.
Especially on damn skeeters.
Yeah. Oh, there's all kinds of weird gnats. Geez. This place is a haven for bugs.
Yeah. Hey, Buddy Biggs.
Yeah, test it around. Now, I heard somebody said they were talking about doing an update on the Xterra, so which, or maybe it was the Knox 600 they had that problem with when it first came out. Anyways, one of them had a problem like that, and they did a quick update and fixed it because it's just too damn jumpy. one or two numbers each side I can understand. When it starts going 3 and 4 each direction, it's like, oh, and the other thing is of course, it's a 12-inch coil too, but its separation on if there's a lot of trashy areas is really bad.
Wow, I didn't think that would be with a Minelab product, but
well, it could be due to the VDI numbers jumping around so much too. Is when you got three different materials, it just can't figure out what's what. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it sure is, Marlon. I know that one.
Hey, Rusty.
Hi, Rusty. How you doing?
Yeah, I almost bought the Amphibia, Marlon, but I went with what did I get?
You got the Impact, didn't you?
Thank you. Yeah, I bought the Impact.
The Impact's was
been one of those days. Machine. It was. I mean, it was a very good machine. But then, I bought the Knox 600 as a backup.
Yeah.
But then started to really love the Knox 600.
Hi, John. Finders Keeper. Yeah.
Hey, John.
A lot lighter, easier to use, plus multi-frequency all at once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because okay, I can understand somebody they were talking like Tony, CTX 3030 is heavy, but it's well balanced, but still, even well balanced, after a while, that extra weight, 2 pounds an hour is 2 pounds an hour.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care how well balanced it is. So if you got a machine that's 2 and one that's 4, that 4 is going to wear you after a few hours, it's going to start wearing you down. Twice
as quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, even like for the Legend I have is pretty light, but after a few hours, your shoulder starts to hurt. Yeah, I can imagine like the CTX would be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you got that T2 though, and one thing I can say about First Texas products, when it comes to ergonomics, they got it down pat. Because the Land Ranger probably got the same weight as the Vanquish and the Xterra, but it feels a lot lighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just better balanced.
Don't get me wrong. I like the T2. I do like it. Yeah. I'm just not a fan of the arm cuff.
Yeah, the arm cuffs aren't that great. But
yeah, I like that wraparound where it hugs on and it stays there. Where the T2, it's too much slop on the arm.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I don't like it hugging me. I like it loose.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I take the bands off. I don't use them. I hate those things. If I want to get my arm out of the detector real quick. The worst one though was the 300 and 400 A series with the freaking way down there. It's like, why would the 250 was longer, way longer? I could never understand that.
Nope.
Why did on a bigger machine put a real short, post on there for the arm cuff? Man, it's like, that was stupid.
I have, John. I bent it, but I can't get it to where I like it. I bent it. I'm just afraid of bending it anymore. I'll snap it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And the A series, they're nose heavy to begin with. And then you throw in that short ass cuff that comes mid forearm, you can't do it.
No, yeah. I remember you put the extension on it.
I made an extension for mine. It worked a little better.
I didn't have one, but I tried one. I thought, well, this is stupid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know. Some short ass person must have designed those. That's all I can think of.
Like I said, you look at all the other detectors that Garrett made, all of them had really nice, long, the S handle was nice and long, and the arm cuff could hit you way up here. But the 300 and 400, it's like, I don't get it.
Like, what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah. And I got to say, though, the arm cuffs today are compared. I had one of the old Bounty Hunters. It's a long, looked like they just cut a piece of PVC in half arm cuff.
Yeah.
Those are the most freaking uncomfortable arm cuffs. I'd rather not have one. After about 2 hours using that, you're going, damn. Oh. Come on, get in here. Come on. Yeah, I had what was it? Tracker 2.
Yeah.
Which was a good machine, but
Jason.
Hi, Jason. It was heavy. it was awkward. They hadn't got the ergonomics down. It had that funky arm cuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I said, after a couple hours of swinging out, you're going, damn, I hate this thing. But it was a good detector. So.
Yep.
Now I can see I get an 8-inch coil for the Xterra, and they do an update to fix that software. This is going to be a great machine, because after using it, I took my Vanquish out. Even with the 8-inch coil, the Vanquish feels heavier because it's not as well balanced as the Xterra. You know, which kind of Charlie.
Yeah, that matters. That matters a lot. You can have the lightest machine ever built. If it's not balanced right, forget it.
Yeah,
it's still going to feel heavy as hell.
Come on up, Charlie. Might as well. Haven't seen you except for Sundays and Rob's. But yeah, so they fixed that, and they're still waiting for their stinking coils to come out. Hi, Hillbilly.
Hillbilly.
Especially, you know, I'm down in the brush and stuff. I don't want a 12 by 10 inch coil on a freaking brush.
Yeah. Yep, I hear that. And like with the Legend, I tried using a 6-inch coil. I just don't like it. I can't get used to the. It changes the whole balance for me. I just can't swing it right.
Really?
So I just leave the stock coil on it. Hey, what's up, Maddie?
Yeah, but it's also just the way, you know, the angle of the handle and everything, Danny, affects it all. So,
yep.
So like I was talking about the S handle. That's the bad thing about the Vanquish. It's an S handle that isn't quite in the right position. You know?
I'm not a fan of the S shaft. I like the straight shaft.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's so much more comfortable.
Not only more comfortable. Now, somebody said, and I got to agree, I've got a big hand, so it's fine for me, but I can see where with some people, the handle on the Xterra is just too big. Because it's pretty good size.
You put him on and he walks off. What the hell's that?
Thanks, Charlie. Jeez, what a guy. How you doing, Charlie?
What's going on, guys?
Just thank God you were wearing pants. That's all I got to say.
That was remember Richie? I think he had the, what was that? No Pants Ninja Crew or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No Pants Ninja Gang.
No Pants Ninja Gang. That was it. How you guys doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Yep.
Good. Tired.
Yeah.
Tired, working a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of overtime still, or?
I don't get overtime.
Oh, you don't?
No,
but I mean, you know, you're probably just paid straight wages, you know, as a boss, but you put in overtime, don't you?
Yeah, I put in a lot of hours, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Jim, the hat's in the truck. You get this today.
Jesus.
Oh.
At least the sun's not shining directly on you. It's more down on the shoulder, so we're good. We're good.
A little dark today.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Otis. Hi, we're getting a whole bunch of 22 people.
A bunch of people here, man.
See, Charlie, come up. I get like 5 more people instantly.
No.
I come up, Bill loses like 6 people. Charlie comes up and he gains like 20.
Getting crazy. Hey, Loretta. Hey, Michigan Jims. Otis, what's going on? Yeah, Mary, John's here, Jim. Yeah, you got a full house coming up.
We're just talking about the Xterra and the jumpy VDI numbers. They do need to do an upgrade on that, man. They do.
Yeah. I had that machine 10 minutes and it's out the door.
Well, I noticed it's like 5. Using the frequency 5, it was really jumpy.
Mm-hmm.
And 8, I've been using beach mode down where I'm taking it. I'm not near a beach. It just works better in the ground down there.
Well, we went out this weekend and
you got some goodies.
Yeah, check this out.
Boom.
Now that was custom made.
Wow.
It looks like a swivel, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
what I thought it was at first.
Independent fishing swivels. It's actually 14 karat gold.
Oh my god!
sweet, Charlie. That's
I
cool.
know. That was
Somebody
a
was
scare.
pissed.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's where the class was at. That's the part that
Yeah.
broke off. But I tested it. 14 carats, 13.4
Nice.
grams.
I just had this thought in my head, Charlie, that somebody actually tried to use that on their fishing line.
You know what, Mark? We were in the water and we were by a bunch of boats and stuff. Me and my friend, and he wanted to go to this area, and I was like, I don't want to go. There's just tons of people. He had a zigzag in and out of people, right? And they're all drinking and everything like that. Like, I'll wait. And then he's like, nah, let's do it. So I was like, all right. So he started working a line, and I was just kind of walking, and somehow I got in front of him or whatever. I pulled that, right? He gave me the dirtiest look. I was like,
You crossed my line.
right? I was like, man, I'm just wandering. I didn't know you were sitting there going to grit every spot.
Yeah.
So he told me, well, you stay on this side of, you get this zone over here first, and I'll do this one, and we'll switch up, right? Like, whatever. I turn around, and this was after I had found that, and I'll show you. About maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, he pulls that
Wow.
14 karat gold.
Gold day.
He's got a green stone on it. So
Emerald.
great. It was a good weekend.
You know what? With that chain you got, Charlie, if somebody makes mention of that coin you don't have, okay, you just pull that up and go, well, you ain't got one of these.
Right? Marlon says, stay on your side of the park.
Yeah, that is a sweet fucking
It
find,
is.
Charlie.
Yeah, it was
That's one of a
pretty cool.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gems.
Hey,
John
Mike.
does. He's running into me about a handful of times. He closes his eyes when he grids. He talked me on my ass about 6.
Cynthia. Oh, you know what? I can't grid. It just
No.
I just like to stroll and whatever I find, I find.
I tried that. Yeah,
Danny's headed down your way, Charlie.
Huh?
Danny says he's heading down your way and hopes you have a spare room.
Come on down, Danny boy.
Yeah, I tried that gridding. I'll face a tree. Yeah, I'm gonna walk a straight line. Next thing you know, I'm up over here. I don't know how I got here, but I'm up over here now.
The only time I really grid is if I'm doing a ring recovery. Then yeah,
That makes sense.
that's when I'm doing it. But other than that, I don't like doing it. It becomes too much work, you know.
Marlon.
Marlon,
Yo!
Bill, you just let anybody up
that is a first for me having been on the
Almost
phone.
anybody, Mark.
there. Almost anybody.
Yeah, I'm
Jason!
lucky. I got the night off work, so I don't have to have a nap right now. I can come play with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, normally I watch a little bit from bed and then I drop my phone on my face, and that's the cue that I should be having a nap, as I
If you ever come on a Thursday night stream, Marlon, don't ever utter those words on my stream.
work.
No, not
What's
work.
the evil word?
Play with you guys. Drop the phone on my face, okay?
You been there?
No, Bill knows.
About half the time,
Well, I
half
gave
our
myself
guys
a
aren't
fat
there
lip
because
with my
they're taking
phone,
a
so.
nap. It's like, sorry, I slept halfway through the stream.
Yeah.
You get old,
Yeah.
you want to take naps.
So you guys were talking gridding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have the dream that I'm going to grid, and then I end up going lucky, and I just head this way and that way.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I'm trying to go to that tree, but I end up on this side of the park instead, and I probably
I look like
detected
a
the same
snail.
spot from 5 directions.
Yeah, it becomes a lot of work. John,
Yeah.
I've
I can
gridded
never
with
stick to the
stakes
grid.
and string lines, and my wife almost took me to the head doctor. It's just it becomes monotonous. You're just like you're doing this whole pattern, then you're cross checking this way. I've done it this way. Look for a ring, gone this way, then hit it at an angle, only to find out
Yeah.
The
A
worst
small
part is
area.
you do all that work, and then you find the ring 50 feet the other direction, right? It's always, it's never where it was. Oh, I was right here. You know,
here.
it's not. That's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find the bigger the park, the less I can stick to an area. I just keep like, oh, I'm gonna head for there and then head for here, and you just try to get lucky. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you hope that the treasure gods are gonna guide you across.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or I think of like where people are walking.
Indeed.
Like this is where they park, and this is the barbecue area, say, and this is where the ball diamond is. So you got to stick to where people travel lots too, right? Like you
Right.
don't have
Absolutely.
to. I don't know. I don't have time to detect every square meter of every park. So
I don't have the
don't know.
patience.
yeah.
I try to
Exactly.
find the most secluded spot because some hanky panky went on there, and the stuff
When-
falls out of their
Who
pockets.
said that to me sometime? When the pants come off, that's when the treasure dumps out.
She would
Gotta
probably
go in
just
the bush.
You guys aren't going to
Right.
believe this, but sometimes on the beach, you're actually looking for that pattern in the sand.
See, told you.
Yeah,
You are.
exactly. Exactly. Where the pockets have dumped out.
guess-
Yeah,
I
I know what you mean.
report it in the snow, but
So true. It's true. It's
That's
hilarious,
true.
but it's true.
Danny, I can't argue with that. That's why I find all the strange stuff.
oh yeah, I always like to go in a park where nobody else metal detects because that's where you're gonna find stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, well, just come to my neck of the woods. No one metal detects around here. I've never even seen another person with a detector when I've been out in 5 years. So
Oh wow.
Wow.
never crossed another hole in the ground.
Oh,
Mike,
None of that.
why? It's true. Look for the butt cheeks in the sand.
Yeah, the butt crack. Totally.
Oh man, you know, a lot of times we have a couple. We call it the sound side. It's like the I don't know what the technical terms for it. It's the golf. Then you have the sound like the intermittent side where it's you don't got the waves crashing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the moms will sit there with their kids right there at the shallow tide line, right?
Yeah.
Because the kids are young, so they're sticking their hands in the sand and stuff. I find so many rings there. Just
There you
just by
go.
going that and people the ladies picking up seashells.
Mm.
So you find a spot where they're picking up seashells, and a lot of times you can find rings. So
Oh, I
My
wish I was by
favorite-
the ocean.
When somebody walks up and touch it. Well, I lost this 14 karat gold ring and this and that. If you find it, it's mine. I go, oh, you lost it in this park? Well, no.
Oh, I hate
What are
that.
you telling me for?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Mark
Oh,
Sunshine
God.
looks more like moonshine. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been hiding from the sun recently here. It's been like from spring to summer in one night. And I got 3 sunburns in 3 days. So
Ouch.
I'm fading again now. But you see the difference? I've
Yeah.
got the shirt tan,
You got the
Yeah.
farmer's tan.
Yep. Farmer's
yeah.
tan. That's what I was
and I
thinking.
got the red neck. The red neck happened, of course. So yeah, I'm hiding from skin cancer for a couple days while I heal. So
Yeah. Oh.
yeah, farmer's tan. That's the
Yep,
one.
that's
That's
right.
It says it. Yeah. I was gonna switch to a tank top, but then I just end up with more sunburn because I'm showing more skin, you know? And that's-
Yeah.
Yeah. And the wife gives me crap too for burning. She calls it the chicken skin area because it already looks like I've burnt it 1,000 times, you know, like it. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the spot I get skin cancer from the sun.
Jason says he was born with the farmer's tan.
He disappeared. Beep beep. Phone
There it is, the
message.
Skin cancer sucks. Mark, you're selling your legend there, Mark?
Yeah, I don't want to, trust me, but desperate times cause for desperate measures.
Well, if you got a Knox, you said you had a Knox, right? So you don't need a legend. They're kind of the same machine, aren't they?
Knox is gone. Jim Steele
No.
bought that months ago.
Oh, so you're just sticking to the Impact.
No, that's gone.
Well, what are you using? What
The
are you
Legend.
using? Oh, you're using the Legend.
Yeah.
So you are on a Nocta then. There you go.
Yeah.
I've never tried Legend. I had heard it's like the Nox though.
It's so much like it,
Mhm.
I just think it's a little better, but it's just so much like the Nox.
It came out after, so they improved on, they could
Yeah.
have, stolen some good things and improved on others. And that's the way the business kind of works, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
it's never leaked.
They're all borrowing from each other.
That's absolutely true.
Yep, never
If
leaked.
you notice how all the new Mind Lab machines are going up to 100 now for some reason,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. That was my biggest peeve about using the 600 is I found it compressed all the targets into a smaller range of numbers. So like when you're digging a 19, it could be like 15 different things, but on a machine that goes from 0 to 100, each of those 15 things is a couple points apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking I like the Xterra Pro, because it spread out the targets a little bit more. And if you learn the individual numbers, you might be able to skip some junk that you wouldn't have skipped with the 600. But maybe I'm crazy. I could be crazy.
No,
Well, that
you're
you
right.
are.
I
Well-
used Technetics before I got the Vanquish, and I agree. I didn't like the compressed numbers going from large scale down.
Mhm. Yeah,
So-
that's the same thing I was used to going up to 100. So the first
Yeah.
time I used the Nox 600, and I was asking people, well, what numbers do I really want to dig? And it's like, well, you're going to want to dig a 13 and a 14. You're going to want to dig 15, 16, 17. Don't
Exactly.
skip 18 or 19. And if you get a 20 or a 21, you want to dig it. 22 and 23, absolutely. You know what I mean? It's like you got to dig almost every number on that thing. So,
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Hey,
but
Roger.
I found awesome stuff with it. So I'm not
Mhm.
knocking it at the same time.
Yep.
I think any machine, the first time you pick it up, you're going to dig more garbage. It takes a good amount of time to sort that out. So
I'm Zaxxon. Hello.
Hey, Jackson.
Zach.
What's up, Don?
Mhm.
Zach here. Don's here. I got to agree with you, but the Xterra Pro for me, and I know I didn't give it a chance. I had it for like 10 minutes. Right?
There you go,
But
yeah.
when I saw the video, I was just jumping all around like, I am not going to take this to the beach and try and find gold with it. You know what I mean? Because the way it was bouncing around, I'd be digging everything. And like I said, I don't have time for that.
yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just going to it would take a lot of time
Mhm.
to get proficient on it, just like any machine.
Yeah.
But see, you're comparing to a Manticore, so it's like comparing, I don't
Well,
know, what do you want to say?
I
Like,
know, Marla, and I wasn't trying to compare. I was just trying to see
it's tough. It's
what the
tough.
signals did. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I knew
Yeah.
that the Manticore would lock on, but when I saw that the Xterra was jumping around everywhere, I was just thinking maybe it's something in the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see,
I find you got to be really level on the swing for that Xterra. If you're going up and down at all,
Mhm.
it does that fluctuating with the numbers for sure.
yeah, but Marlon, I'm comparing it to my Vanquish, which is the
Mhm.
same company, and it'll only, if you hit a nickel, it's going to go 13, 12, 14.
Oh,
You know,
well, yeah.
but the Xterra will go 2, 3, or 4 numbers each side of that. It's like,
Well,
no.
there you go.
So-
Yeah. And when you say
So,
nickel, it makes me think the material nickel. Like a lot of Canadian coins are made out of nickel.
So's our
Yeah.
nickel.
There you go. And it seems like Mind Lab does not like nickel. You know what I mean?
The Vanquish loves them, but it also
Yeah,
has pull
There you
tab.
go. Vanquish.
The pull tab or nickel is the same. But
Yeah. But like I found the 600 just hated going over a Canadian quarter that's pure nickel, like a 1960 something Canadian quarter. It would make a farty sound over it, you know?
Oh,
It wouldn't
really?
even make a good tone. Yeah.
I feel
Huh.
bad for you guys up in Canada when you're swinging for your clad. This
Yeah.
all sounds like horrible.
Oh, and the newer clad mark is
Yeah.
steel core, so
Yo-
it doesn't even make a noise. The
Yeah.
it just cuts it out unless you have it on all metal.
Yeah.
And then it's like giving you a low tone because it's a steel core. That little bit of shiny tin foil does not give you the tone. It's the core that it's reading. So
that's when
yeah,
you buy a
Canadian
$100
coins-
bounty hunter and go hit
but
the
do you
side.
need to find rusty coins, like a steel core piece of garbage coin that you can't spend because it's so rusty from being in the ground for 6 months? What's the point of finding that anyway? Right?
Sort of like our zinc pennies.
Same thing. Yeah. No bank will take them when they look like Swiss
Yeah.
cheese. So, yeah.
So Marlon, do you pretty much have to dig it all then? If you're going,
Well, I'm using Amphibio, so you can tell the difference between copper, nickel, all that. It doesn't, and it picks up the clad too, like really well, even the
Oh, that's
steel
good.
core stuff. So that's why I keep saying it's my go-to machine.
There
I
you
like
go.
using lots of different machines in the same area because I'll find stuff I didn't find with a different one. But you find there's that one you're always reaching for, right? Like what machine of your collection, and then it makes me think, well, maybe I could get rid of some of these other ones. But I like using the other ones for revenge hunting. After I've gone through with the machine, what can I find next with the 600?
Mhm.
And what can I find? Oh, there's the Xterra there.
Charles.
Bill, you like the Vanquish. The Xterra Pro uses the Vanquish coils, right?
No,
And it's single frequency, right? It's a modified Vanquish. They even call it the V whatever coil.
yeah,
They just
but
added
it's
X
not.
to it.
They don't interchange.
Yeah, they don't interchange because it's not switchable frequencies on the Vanquish, but it's just the same coil design.
Yeah, same coil
No.
design, but
Yeah.
no, but you can use the Knox coil on the Xterra.
Mm. Yeah, I've heard that. Anyone try that? Anyone put the 11
Yeah,
on there?
Danny has.
Crazy.
Oh, Danny Boy used his 6-inch coil. He just said he didn't like it. Danny, speak up. Tell him what was
What
going
are
on.
V nickels? Is that like a war nickel? Is that part silver or what's a V nickel?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
Dennis
know
is
what
saying
they're
V
talking about.
nickel.
Some crazy coin somebody made up, I guess.
V nickel. Hmm.
It's
It's
on
illegal
Charlie.
from what I understand.
Charlie, all you got to do is flash that one of a kind gold you got there, buddy. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I never find gold.
Say, yeah,
I
you
find
may
gold
got a
plated.
V-nickel, but you ain't got this.
Oh, well, I don't know. So you have the 600, right, Marlon?
Yeah, 600 right here, and I got the Pro sitting right next to it, and a 705.
Now, do you have the 6-inch coil?
No, I don't have the small coil. I was going to buy a 900 because it came with the small coil.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. It's like a $250 Canadian for that 6-inch coil.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, what's it, $200 in the US probably?
John, because oddly enough, the designer of the V-nickel was named Charles.
Interesting. The V nickel from Charles.
Yeah.
It's not a Canadian coin, is it? I know there's Canadian nickels that have a V
Oh
on
no!
it.
What,
but-
what
No, it's
years?
a V-nickel.
What years of V-nickels, guys?
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
It's not a war nickel. You're not talking about the 30
No,
cents.
It's
No.
way before that.
It's that
Oh, it's older.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
as old as a buffalo.
older than the buff.
Older
Oh,
than-
older than the buff.
Yeah,
Well, it was the coin before the buffalo.
right.
Oh, crazy. No, see, that's why I don't know.
Yeah, Dennis found an 1899 V-nickel today.
I'm definitely not getting one of those here, probably then.
You never know.
Charlie, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to find a present a V-nickel and say you found it, or we will remember it for life. I'm not gonna claim to find one until I do. I have
Yeah,
several. I
yeah.
just haven't found one.
18,
People
It might turn up.
1912. Matt just put it up in chat.
Yeah.
There we
I'm
go.
having trouble getting below 1930 stuff, even though my town's predates 1900. I'm just not finding anything older than 1930, with a date on it. So it's the way it goes sometimes. This is poor Ukrainian farm town area settlers. They didn't have a lot of silver to be just tossing everywhere, like,
They didn't
fancy.
have much of
Ontario.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. So
They
no
had-
shortage of
They
pennies.
had copper rings for wedding instead of
Yeah,
gold and
exactly.
silver.
Copper rings too. Exactly.
Oh, this is a Trime is a tough find too. Yeah, that would be a hard
That'd
one.
be cool. I'd take a try.
Yeah.
Mhm.
More likely to find a V-nickel over a Trime any day. Those are very rare.
Hey, Diana.
Hey, if they did make steel coins back in the day, they've rusted
Yeah.
to nothing by now, so we wouldn't know. Anyway.
Well, the,
I don't
1943 Wheatie.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. There you
Yeah.
go.
And I
The
dug
steel
one out of
penny.
the ground that was in better shape than the one I got out of a Coinstar. So go figure that.
Yeah, that's that 1913 VDB that SWPA is talking about. Is that the same
That's
thing or no?
1909.
That's
VD.
hot.
Oh, 09. So what's a 1913 penny about?
I
This
don't
is
know.
right here. You'll be a millionaire. Only
Is that-
5 known to exist.
Is that the penny or the nickel?
Oh,
What are we
maybe he's
talking
talking
about?
He's
to
thinking the
talking-
nickel.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's a nickel. A guy that worked at the mint had 5 of them made. He wasn't supposed to, and he stole
right.
them. And they caught him.
Oh,
And they tried to say they were fake. Then it got out that he'd actually worked for the mint and made them. So there are 5 known 1913 nickels that are not supposed to exist.
Wow.
And one's still
interesting.
missing.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's like with the 1973 Canadian quarter, that one day the guy came into work and he used the wrong die on the queen side. So if you find one of those large bust horse quarters, RCMP quarters, they're worth big cash.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
but people say that that was done on purpose, right? That guy did that. He probably stuck a roll in his pocket after
Never know.
and then let the rest go out into circulation, put it away for 50, 60 years, and now it's worth big money, right? If you work at the mint, think about it, right? You
Uh-huh.
just got to screw up your job one day. Don't do it every day.
No,
Yeah.
get reprimanded. 50
Yeah.
years later, you're retiring in style.
Yeah.
I was watching
Yeah.
somebody's coin roll hunting one day up there in Canada, and they talked about a 1921 half dollar that there's supposed to be a special, and they go, we've never found them. Well, I read up on it, and what they were talking about, they only made one half dollar that year. But there was a collector's set, the same face on the half dollar, the obverse side was different, and it was only in the sets.
Oh, yeah.
So
If you had bought
that
the set
would be,
from
that
the
would
bank.
be worth money. So,
Hmm.
But they go, we've never seen one. I don't think they made it. So I'm reading, yeah, they did, but it only came in a set. That's why you never, probably haven't seen it in circulation. America does the same thing. All of a sudden, what is it? The 300th anniversary of the Plymouth Plymouth Rock half dollar, the Pilgrim half dollar. They only made them 2 years, never put them in circulation.
Hey, Joel.
Oh, yeah.
What's up,
Hey,
Joel?
Joel.
Hi, Joel.
Zaxxon says he has a 5th one. If you guys want to send him the money, he'll send it over to you guys.
Yeah.
Bank draft.
You take an IOU?
Will you take some ducats from Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, Saudi cash, eh? Hmm.
I got $1 million pesos. Will you accept that?
That's worth a couple bucks.
Hey, NorCal, what's up, bud?
NorCal.
Hello, hello.
Well, Joel just recorded your mail call there, Mr. Marlin.
4.56 million? Are you serious? $1 million coins.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Even some of the change we carry around in our pockets, you think, could be worth some big bang.
Yeah, I see a lot of those on YouTube.
Mhm.
Don't spend this coin or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's like Pat bought the new book on how to become rich off your pocket change.
Yeah.
And apparently in the last 10 years, there's been a lot of freaking errors made on coins
Mm.
that
Wow.
you don't know about unless you grab the book. And some
Yeah.
of them are worth some money. So. Yeah. That's okay. What got me is I had some Japanese pesos.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But they made so many of them, it was kind of like Confederate money 50 years ago. It wasn't worth anything.
Finding AU Ron, what's up?
Iran.
What are you vaping? This is just a peach
Pumpkin-
pie.
You
Pumpkin
got
cookie.
nicotine in there?
Oh, hell yeah. Pumpkin cookie.
Pumpkin
Pumpkin
cookie. Huh?
cookie.
$10. Couldn't pass it up.
Pumpkin cookie. Okay.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, nicotine or THC there?
Just nicotine, dude.
Just
Or both.
nicotine. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a
Nice.
job interview tomorrow, and I ain't screwing that up.
If you really want to get people addicted, put both in there. THC and
Oh,
nicotine.
yeah.
Yeah, we'd always fire up a cigarette after a joint when we were teenagers. So
Yeah. Get them both at
Yep.
the same time.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tony, what's up? Fun with
Good
Dirks
night,
here.
Dee.
Good night, Deej.
yeah,
Good night,
I have
Deej.
Come on, Ron.
Lucky
doing?
enough, I quit smoking when I was in university. I think my second year. First year, I smoked like outside of class to meet some girls or whatever. And then when that wasn't working anymore, I quit smoking.
I
Ron,
quit smoking cigarettes. It's been about 2 weeks now. So I got that out the way. Now I'm
Congrats.
gonna drop this down to 0 nicotine, right?
See
And
what you
then-
can do. Yep.
Then get rid of it altogether, hopefully.
well,
That's what
congrats, Charlie.
mine's 3%, Charlie. The
Oh,
lowest
really?
zero right now, yeah.
Yeah, this is 5, so
Tom Riley.
I need to start smoking and drinking. Yeah, like the cool kids there.
oh man.
Pick up a pack of smokes.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
I cannot imagine you drinking. Yeah. You disappear now as it is when you're sober. I can imagine you drunk. We'd never see you again.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Robster.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Rob.
I think this is the first time I've ever been up on the same screen with Marlon.
That's what I said.
What? In all this time?
Yeah, I think so.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Danny boy. I
Great
just
looking wall behind you there, Mr. Marlon.
Thanks. Thanks, Rob.
Matt says I need to start smoking and
I
drinking.
must thank the community for sending me all of their stickers. And then there you go. Then you got a sticker wall in your garage.
I used to vape. I still do, but I used to. Okay, Ron.
Chilling the Grill Adventures with Dan B. It's been a week with no cigarettes for him, so that's great.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Right on, Dan.
Congrats. Just if you're gonna get rid of them, guys, send them to me. I'll smoke them.
Put them in the mail if you got any lefties.
Hey, Randy. We'll see you later, Dennis.
Have one
Jason's
for me,
ready to
Jason.
pour him a drink now.
Yeah. I
Notice
kind of
this every day.
chilled out on the drinking once I had kids. I felt like it was the responsible thing to do, but being from a small town, we had nothing better to do here than drink 3 nights a week. So,
At least
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday was mini Friday. That's what we always called it. Did anyone else ever say mini Friday?
Well, you know what they say about Pittsburgh? We're a football town with a drinking problem, or a town with a drinking town with a football problem. One of the two. So either way, we drink.
Either way, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the bars here didn't help before. In the city they put in minimum drink pricing, to cut down on binge drinking. But in our small town, they didn't have minimum drink pricing, so you could get 50-cent highballs, 50-cent draft. If you were coming on the power hour, they used to call it, that kind of stuff. So
Is that still
Yeah,
occurring
that's
now,
what I
Marlon? Where's your
remember.
address? I should be there in about a week.
yeah, no, I don't know if they do. I think the prices have skyrocketed at bars since
No.
I quit drinking 10 years ago. So, yeah. You go to a city bar and they want like over $5 for a bottle of beer. That's just crazy.
Yep.
Or a hockey game. I think to go to an Oilers game in Edmonton here, this is Canadian money, but I think they're over $10 for a cup of beer, like $12, $13
That's
for like
nuts.
$8,
You
$9
go to a
US.
football game down here, Marlon. It's going to be the same thing in the stadium. They just
Beerflation. It's not fair. Beerflation.
you go into a Chili's restaurant here, it's $9 for a can of Budweiser. So
That's
My
crazy.
sister just told me that Kansas City, the Chiefs football team, they just raised their parking to $60 a game.
Hey Tony, $60 to park? That's what a ticket used to cost for a hockey game, and now
That's
they're in the
exactly
hundreds of
right.
dollars. I
That's
think.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Wow. Oh, crazy.
So in
I
other
used
words,
to always
you gotta
complain
be
about
rich
going to
get-
the movie theater because to buy snacks it cost as much as buying a ticket, right? Like now they've taken that up everywhere else. Brandy's mug.
Well, that's why you always make certain your date has a big purse.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It is
yeah.
insane, Dennis. It is.
or she looks like she's pregnant.
Or yeah, there we go. Better yet.
Oh, yeah. You
It
always
makes
got to
sense
sneak
first.
candy into the movie theater. Denise is in the other room going, always.
Yeah, we did too. We always snuck in some goodies for sure.
Uh-huh.
Good night, Cynthia.
Night, Cynthia.
sweetheart.
See you, Synth.
I remember
Right,
sneaking
Cynthia.
people in the trunk of a car into a drive-ins.
Well, that wasn't directed at me.
Good night,
Uh-huh.
Cynthia.
Hey Tony, fun with dirts in the house. We got Relic Reaper Don here too. Hey Don. He's
Yeah,
my
when I was a
Snapchat
kid-
buddy.
My dad always used to tell me, crouch down in your seat so you make yourself look younger. Yeah. So I had to slide
The
way
Hershey
down in the
Bears,
seat
I
and
love
look
it.
up at the guy. Yeah, he's 5 and she's 6. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody
Kids
paying attention
Christ.
to you.
Oh God, Mark, that's like in the town south where I lived. When they had to drive in, every third Friday was like as many people as you want for $5. Well, a friend of
Yeah.
ours had a 2-ton truck, so we just load people.
Here we go.
In the back,
Pack the
go to the
box.
drive-in. Here's the $5.
Yeah, yeah.
Mary, if I was a peanut butter junkie back then, or if I go to the movies now, yes, ma'am, I definitely stick my peanut butter jar
Here
in
we
a
go.
spoon.
We got a jar of peanut butter in the break room at work. That's like the emergency snack right there. Just go take a big dip.
That
Yeah.
and cup of
Oh, yeah.
noodles.
Yeah, cup of noodles. Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
I used to eat
I was gonna
ramen
say-
every night
I
at
was gonna
work
say something
too.
else.
Actually,
I'll
now that
keep
you
it
mentioned
going
cup of
here.
noodles, Mark, that's true. I did it. I stopped though. Too much sodium.
Well, they started out at a place where I worked because they'd hire these guys that were off the street and didn't have any money. And they were stealing people's lunches. So they just went out and bought cases of cup of noodles for them and threw them under the
What's
table.
that raw
There you
peanut
go.
butter?
You remember to tell you?
Peanut butter?
Is that a mixing bowl?
It's a mixing bowl.
Fruit salad.
No, I
No,
think it's a cat food bowl.
It's sugar-free raspberry Jello.
Jello.
Yummy, sugar free.
Throw it away.
It looks like it was ate once.
Yeah, throw it away.
Is that the
Get some
second
whipped
time
cream.
you ate
Put whipped
that?
cream on top of
It's
that.
got artificial sweetener. I'm sure
You
it still
put the
tastes
peanut butter
sweet.
on me.
At least that's what you say, Rob. I know you know where it is.
You what, Bill?
I know you know where the peanut butter is.
You're having
I
sleepovers
did.
at the drive-through,
I
Otis.
found her secret stash. I sent Bill that picture when she used to try and hide the peanut butter in the cabinet. And I sent Bill the picture. I said, "Look, she's trying to hide the peanut butter on me."
Did you see
I was
the
just nervous though, Bill. She's starting to put cameras all around the house.
That's like trying to walk into a room with a rotisserie chicken and not have the cats find it.
Oh, the cats love rotisserie chicken night, Bill. Mr. Charlie, happy to see you awake, sir.
I know it's kind of late for me.
When I got up Sunday morning and you were all bright and shiny on Pat Stream, I was like, "Oh man, it's way too early."
Just
Mary?
really quick.
Mary, there's nothing wrong with raspberry. It's sugarless raspberry.
Right.
That's wrong.
Artificial sweetener. It's still sweet. I'm sure it's still good. It's Jello.
Actually, it is. Marlon, when you've been eating it on and off all the time, you do diets. I'm used to it. I think it's okay. I like the sugar-free pudding too, but this literally has 0 carbs.
Yeah. And he doesn't mind the aftertaste of toe jam.
No, the raspberry is what makes it good, Mary.
That's,
Wait,
that's,
I missed what Otis said.
Well, she doesn't
said
like.
here.
How do you not like? Oh man, we got a big patch of raspberry bush in the backyard because I love going out there like a bear, and I'm just like.
That's
Weird
cool.
waking up
Yeah.
to an empty parking lot.
no, that's my problem. Those people I can taste the artificial sweetener, the aftertaste. Man.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm not a fan of aspartame, but the
No.
other ones like sucralose, you don't notice it as much as the asper.
Well,
Yeah,
I would have said blow up
I know you lose
mattress.
weight, but I'll die of cancer because that's
yeah, he's having sleepovers at the drive-in theater. Yeah.
Yeah, but it says
Our
blow up
drive-in
mattress.
theater-
I thought it went somewhere else.
Oh, different kind of blow up, hey?
You see
Home
what Jason
Depot.
put? You guys see what Jason put? 0 carbs per serving, not per mixing bowl.
Well, 0 times 10 is still 0. You know,
That's
isn't it?
exactly right, Marlon. You tell these fools.
There you go.
Oh boy!
Otis,
Don't
I-
shame his portion.
Otis,
Serving size, 1 mixing bowl.
all Cool Whip has 0 carbs in it too. I just don't happen to have any Cool Whip here because there's Cool Whip and the Jello is really good.
Yeah, of course, totally. Like a parfait, Jello, whipped cream, put some pudding under it too. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of drive-ins, our drive-in here down the street from Denise's, well, is now a Home Depot. So I just go around telling people I lost my virginity at the Home Depot.
Yeah, the last drive-in theater in the city near me closed too, like probably 15 years ago. Yeah, and now there's a strip mall there, so you can't even go detect the old spot. It's a parking lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like my
Oh,
place, Marlon. We had a drive-in theater that shut down. Now there's a strip joint there.
Ah, yes, we have strippers here in Alberta. We do something special. You guys, you use the singles, right? Well, in Canada, they don't have singles. We have loonies and toonies, right? So you're chucking change at the strippers here.
Put an eye out.
Yeah. Oh, they take their little, keychains and they'll put them on, and then you got to knock them off with your loony or toonie, right? Or they'll roll up a poster like a funnel, and hold it with their butt cheeks, and then you got to throw your loony or toonie and get it into the funnel,
I'll be
and then
there.
you win the poster.
Charlie, we got to go check out strip clubs in Canada, Charlie.
Yeah. They turn
on
it
my
into
way.
a game, like it's a serious
That's
game.
way different than down here.
And then on the same line as magnet fishing, since the change sticks to a magnet, what the stripper does after is she has a magnet on a little rope and she goes and she picks up all the
Oh.
money off the stage with a magnet. It's actually hilarious.
I wonder if we took a magnet, if we get thrown out. We just say we're magnet fishing. We're YouTubers.
Yeah. I've been meaning to just go to the fountain at the mall, because I could probably pull in a couple $100 at the mall right from the wishing well. Security would probably come tackle me though.
You guys have to excuse me 1 minute.
No worries, Charlie.
So we just started talking about strip clubs, and Charlie's in trouble already.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for bringing it up.
You heard it.
I haven't been to one in many years since my last buddy's bachelor party. That was a mistake too. Oh, gosh. Yeah. They know you're there drunk as heck, and they want those loonies and toonies.
I would have never even considered that, Marlon, because I heard you. I did miss when you gave me a shout out, so I went back and watched it right after I talked to you on Facebook today. First off, great shout out. But I heard you saying that your country's coming out with a nylon bill.
Yeah, they made poly now. They're plastic. The money is now no longer what do you call it? You can't even really rip them. They don't even tear anymore. Straight up fun money.
Wow. And they have all the security features in them.
Crazy amounts of stuff under black light and watermark and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these new poly bills. You got to be careful. I heard a story. Some guy was he was hiding.
Well, don't freeze there.
Yeah. I think he did that intentionally.
I'm back. My internet broke for a second. Yeah, these poly bills. People would take those like a Skittles wrapper and you put it in the oven and it shrinks, making shrinky dinks. They called it those crafts. There was a story here. A guy was stacking up some cash in the oven because his wife never cooked, and she would never find it there. And then she decided she was going to make him a surprise dinner, and she shrunk all his poly money down to like little tiny little squares in the oven. So craziness.
Hey, show me.
Kind of a silly story,
Hey,
I
Chris,
guess.
how we
Right? Don't
doing?
put money in the oven.
Mr. Show Me
Oh
Chris
yeah,
is here.
Blister says they got plastic money in the UK too. That's probably where we got the idea from. Was you guys across the pond there? Plastic bills.
I
It's
do
great.
know when I watch Jim from MD Melbourne, and I'm watching him pick up all these loonies and toonies in the park, and he'll put a thing at the end saying, "Hey, $32 and change today," and I'm like,
Oh,
$32
yeah.
and change is like 2 months worth of parks here.
Yeah, I go out. I usually get a loony or toonie every time I go out. And we joke around saying, as a Canadian detecting rule, you can't go home until you get a loony, right? And so you might be out there for a few extra minutes into the evening.
Marlon,
But yeah,
in 5
generally you're
years,
going to
I
find
think-
one.
In 6 years, I think I've gotten 6 total $1 coins here. 6 in 6 years.
Sacagaweas, like that kind of thing.
I've
Sacas.
gotten 5 Sacagaweas and 1 presidential coin.
Mm.
Oh, there, you
I've
get
never,
some. Wow.
I've never
Oh yeah.
found, I've never found one of the big Eisenhowers, but Troy has got an Eisenhower.
Yeah. Yeah, like these guys. I think this is from the last time I went out. $3 and 2 holes. You know, it's like the I was hoping they would ditch the $5 bill and make a $5 coin. Then I'll really load up. Hey.
Oh,
Be good.
Jason, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 weeks.
There's no way you forget about that accidentally.
My sister, when she moved out of the
Oh, right
house
on,
I went
show
to
me.
stay in one time and the power got turned off, I went over there and she left a Cornish hen in the freezer that exploded after the
Ugh.
power got turned off. And I think we just had to put that refrigerator outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Listen-
My dad had a deep freeze of fish stop being frozen. And wow. We just taped the lid shut and wrote "Do not open" on it because yeah.
There you go. Chris says he found a $1 coin in a tot lot yesterday.
Hey, Luke.
Yeah.
Listening Barnacle says Magnetic Max found a safe magnet fishing with Australian money in it.
That's cool.
Okay.
Luke,
Hey, Luke. I wish
Joel says he
I
likes that
found
big Albert.
we didn't
Jim-
know what it
Jim
was when
one
we
of the
got
first
it a couple
channels-
of years ago, but top of a newspaper box, you know, where you put the
Hey, Luke.
coins in to buy newspapers.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the battery box off a tractor, you know, like the steel box that, and I think only a year later, I was looking at my scrap pile beside the house and I was like, wait, this has a coin slot on it, you know? Like it took me forever to realize that I had a safe sitting there, but always look through your
AP is
junk.
here. Evening.
Magnet fishing treasures.
Well, guys, I want to bow out.
thanks for coming up, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
See you, Mark.
See you
Good
Good
guys
luck on your
later.
job interview. You said tomorrow, Mark? You're going for
Yeah,
slay it.
I had enough of this unemployed shit.
Mark,
It's fun for a while. It's fun
Yeah.
for a while, but then yeah.
I know you're selling that Legend, Mark.
Yep.
If you need a machine, let me know. I have the Impact. If you want it, I'll send it out to you.
Oh no, I'm good, buddy. I have a T2. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I thought Charlie was going to offer to buy it so we could have like machine 17.
The wife's gonna kill me. I'm gonna get that Deus at the one with the puck, the MS6 or whatever it's called, the MS Wasp 6. She's gonna.
You gonna really try the Deus, Charlie?
Mhm.
I've considered getting one myself, but
I just can't get
Yeah.
over how cheap the whole coil and that little skinny cable system looks.
I don't know. I'm hearing good stuff about it.
Yep, everybody seems to like the Deus too. So.
Yeah.
Charlie can go to the beach and get 2 fines and he can pay for a Deus, okay?
yeah.
That one
You
brings
get
me
it.
pretty close to it.
Brad had just been freaking killing it at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing you got to do with a Deus is you got to baby it. You can't be dropping it on the box because that's its Achilles heel is the attachment of the control unit to the stick. If you ask anyone with one that's having any problems, it's that box is popping off all the time
Mhm.
because it's the attachment is weak.
And you got to
And
remember
they didn't fix that on the Deus 2 either. It's the
And
same.
you know what's interesting, Marlon, is you would think with all the coil ears that have broke on the Equinox, that they would just go to whatever their mold maker is in the Philippines or wherever the hell they get these things made, and just
Yeah.
say, just increase the size of the ears by 1 to 2 millimeter and make
Yeah,
a new
but
mold.
then they're not selling coils then. They need those to break. You know? Or else they don't sell coils aftermarket, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay. I see your point,
It's
but let me ask
planned
you a
I
question.
think they call
Do
it
you know
planned
anybody-
obsolescence.
Do you know anybody that's went out and bought another $189 coil after the their warranty
Years
expired?
break off. Maybe. I don't know. Greeny accidentally broke his off. He had to buy a new coil. Honesdale Detectorist.
Okay,
He was going down a little bit of a hill and he stumbled and he put it down kind of like to brace himself and
Yep.
snapped it right off. I don't think he had the extra piece. A lot of people do that 3D stabilizer printout.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But maybe he would have bent his shaft then, like how yours got broke in that car crash, right? The shaft can snap. You make one thing stronger, what's going to break next? Which is more expensive, the coil or the shaft, though? That's the question.
Oh, coil's way more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I just know. I put the 3D thing on it because one of the coilers broke during the accident too, Marlon.
Oh,
So I put that 3D coil thing saber on there. I JB welded it on there. JB welded the earpiece back onto it. JB welded the entire setup. And not only did it crack again, it cracked through the coil saver piece.
oh wow.
And
guess.
I don't remember hitting it or anything. So I've actually got to repair it for a second time. Evening, Lewis.
Danny says, Charlie, my wife just put it somewhere I did not want it to go. Thank God she did not wrap it around my head. Yeah, he's got the same kind of deal.
It's great seeing Jason in here after his lengthy missing stay. So welcome, Jason.
Yeah, it's always
Reed,
great.
hey, Don.
He's back. I wanted to ask Charlie because the Manticore, they switched it, so the ears are on the shaft. Now,
Right.
is it beefier too, or do you think it's going to be a problem?
I don't think it's going to be a problem. It seems to be really well. They thought it out, just like they did with the 700, 900. They just made that all thicker. You know what I mean? That whole area where the ears are. So I don't think they're going to have a problem there anymore. It's just a different setup.
Wow. AAP says he would trade his Knox and his AT Max for a Deus 2. Wow.
There you go. My friend Stevie from Finder Binders, he just switched up to a Deus 2 as well from the Knox 800. So
the thing I don't like about this is right here where you screw it in, it just screws through it. It tends to come loose. Oh, there's still sand falling out of it.
oh yeah.
Because there's no nut on the other side. You know what I mean? So
Tightening from the one side. That's what they did on the Xterra Pro, isn't it? Too. Yeah, it tightens from one side.
Even after you tighten it, after a while, it gets sloppy again. I don't know that.
The Vanquish is the same thing. I've had it for 3-4 years now, no problem. So they must have.
Well, I noticed with that, I'll be in the water and it'll move around. Yeah,
that's annoying because you want your coil to stay parallel with the ground, and if it's flapping,
yeah. So I'm always, when I'm in the water, I'm always taking the coil and just kind of pressing it back down on the sand again.
Yeah, tap it level.
Again, Yeah.
Evening, Reed.
But there's a nut that uses it.
Yeah, the nut's using them. Yeah. That's what it is.
Well, I took my Excalibur out Sunday, and that's what I found that bracelet with.
Did you already show that, Charlie?
The water machine.
Yeah, I took that one out. Okay, here it is, Rob.
Be right back.
That is just so cool looking, Charlie. Somebody had that either custom made or custom ordered.
Yeah, those are links like for fishing.
Yeah, those are leads. Yeah, those are leaders.
Fisherman's thing, hey? That's gold. Gold. Nice.
Just be cool.
Just be
Blackbird
cool.
Manufacturing. Welcome.
Luke, that was the Manticore. The Excalibur 2, the Mind Lab one. That's one I use. I use that one in the water quite a bit. So.
You get right in there with a snorkel mask on, go underwater and stuff.
I have a dive hookah. I have the Nemo, whatever, the Blue Nemo.
Yeah.
It's never hit the water. I am certified for diving. I have my scuba permit and all that, license and all that, but I haven't done any testing yet with it. Yeah,
I've only, the only time I got wet metal detecting is when it started raining, and then I went back to my car.
Oh, really?
I've never gone in the water with a detector, not even dip the coil.
I got to tell you, Marlon, I used to just, when I hit the beach, would always be dry sand.
Yep.
But man, all that jewelry is just in the water. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
you
like I
find
could see myself going ankle deep,
you
but I
find
don't
it
see
in the
myself
dry sand, but
swimming.
once I started hitting the
Marlon,
water,
you can go.
and
You can
finding
go.
it, I hate dry sand.
You can go 3 feet deep before your control box is even in the water, Marlon.
Yeah, well, Rob, you were talking about swimming to a sandbar with your detector in one hand
I did.
before.
I did 2
Yeah.
summers ago. I swam out to a sandbar. I'd put my scoop and my detector in one hand, and then use
Yeah.
my other hand like a crawl to get out to the sandbar. But
It's
that sandbar is where all the people go out there and drink, even though you're not supposed to have alcohol on the beach. They go out there with those white
yeah.
claws.
Beach
and those
Patrol
other
can't
drinks.
get you out there,
Right.
And that's where that's the last place I found one of my titanium rings was on that sandbar.
There you go. See, there you
But
go.
this little ring in my Monday Digs video last night, that little teeny gold ring,
Wow,
was
man.
one of the first rings on Clearwater Beach I found in the dry sand. Almost all of them, like Charlie said, have either been at the waterline or in the water.
Yeah, because the hand has to get wet for the ring to slide off. That's what I've heard so many people say. So it's going to be the wet where you find the rings.
Cold
Yeah.
water.
Charlie, AAP wanted to know what unit that was that you showed up. That was your
That was a
Manicore, right?
Manicore, yeah.
Magicore.
The cold water. They put lotion, sunblock on. Then they go in the water. The water's cold, so now you got the sunblock on your hand. The water's cold. Your hand shrinks and slip. There it goes.
Take care, Reed.
See you, Reed. Happy trails.
Miss Mercury says she's dipped her quote, but that's as far as and I'm the guy when I
Yeah.
bought the Knox, because one of the first YouTube videos I saw was an Equinox. So the guy unboxed it, put it together, filled up his bathtub, turned the unit on, and let it sit in his bathtub for a week. Took it out, and it worked just fine. And I go, that's it. That's the water machine I need.
Wow,
and,
yeah.
And then Marlon, I tell everybody, don't be scared to take it in the water, and I've already drowned 3 of them.
I know. It's bad luck or what? That other people can get it wet over and over, and then you had 3 that got wet. So on the inside, I don't.
Evening, Tony. Yeah,
Hey,
and
Patty.
I went and bought the 600 Marlon to back up my 800.
Yeah.
And the second time I put the 600 in the water, and I'm certified diving like Charlie is, but I haven't dove in years. So I'm only putting it up to, waist, chest deep, and I'm not a tall guy. So literally the control pod's in like 2.5 feet of water. And second
Yeah,
time
not a lot of pressure or anything. It's not like you're
No.
exactly 2 meters down. No.
NorCal, you're right. It does cause shrinkage.
Yeah, there you go. I was in the pool, says George, right? I was in the pool.
Classic.
Yeah, from Seinfeld, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
It was cold.
Yep,
FLX, what's up, John?
John.
Even Don.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Lewis
get
is right.
like passerbys say that to me, like, "Oh, have you ever gone to this lake or that lake?" Because there are lakes with beaches here, but Alberta lakes are really muddy in the bottom. So once you go into the water, it's not like it's nice and sandy. When you keep going out, it's like loon shit. It's like muck. So I think when people lose stuff, it's gone. So pretty much the detecting is in the sand or the first little bit of the water where they truck the sand into a lot of these places.
Oh, so the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Lewis had a really interesting statement. Let's trash
It's so
out
far
what
from
we
the
do.
ocean.
Usually when your detector shouts, it could be something good. And that's perfectly true. You're not going to get it. I mean, you can detect in the water for 45 minutes without a signal, but you get a signal. First off, it screams because it's nice and quiet. And
Yep.
It's usually a good find. Whereas if you're doing the dry branch, you got more chance of finding coins. You got more chance of finding, costume jewelry or little earrings or
Yeah. Beer
silver
caps.
Yeah. Well, I can remember that day after the hurricane, I came home with 97 bottle caps.
Wow. There you go.
NorCal, evening.
SC, hello.
Sheldon, what's up, buddy?
Oh, SC.
Chris likes moon shit. I think we're going to use that one.
Loon shit. Loons, those things that make that funky noise. It's like a duck, but slightly different. It's on our $1, the loony, right? That's why we say loony. Loons. Yeah.
Oh, did you say loon shit? We thought you said moon shit.
No, loon.
Oh, I thought you said moon shit too.
It's an Alberta thing. Loon. Yeah, moon shit. That's funny. Yeah. No, loons. Like duck shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lewis
That's
has
funny. It's a very popular water bird up here, you know, like that and the Canada goose. You could also say goose crap, I guess, too. So
yeah.
and they crap like horses all over the beach here too.
Bad Idea
Or
Labs here
walking
also.
paths
Welcome.
or wherever. Hey, Joe's here, Bad Idea Lab.
What's up, Joe?
He
Hi,
just
Bad
won that giant gold nugget. Did you guys see the size of the nugget that Joe won at that meet he was at? Wow.
No.
15 or something, 13-gram nugget all in one piece, 22 karat as a pendant.
Holy
It's,
crap.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Joe,
Giant
I'll give you
nugget.
my address, but you got my address, Joe. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, that was a good win.
He was at an
Oh, yeah.
event, Marlon?
Black.
He was at an event?
Yes, I think it was some kind of meetup, not magnet fishing. Why would they have gold nuggets at a magnet fishing event? But Joe could tell us in the chat. Yeah, he was at an
Yeah.
event and he won it. They were doing a raffle for it, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, it came with a plaque even from the prospector that found it.
Nice.
Saying, who's Joe? I don't know. Who is Joe?
I saw that, Mary. I went on Beard posted on his Facebook page, and I was on Facebook today answering some things, and I saw them holding up the big check for $6,000 that Rusty Magnets and Iron Antler raised, I think, for a children's charity. They had one of those big, contest checks, when you're big. And good for them guys, $6,000.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah, Chris, that's where I found that bracelet, bud. So next time you get down this way, we'll go hit that spot.
Gee, Chris, he's never invited me there.
Oh yeah, he says it was a magnet fishing fundraiser. There you go. St. Jude's.
Mary.
Oh, for St. Jude's. Okay, I knew it was for a kids' charity.
Good night, Jason.
Later, Jason. Good seeing you, bub.
Take care, Jason. He's a nice guy and a fun dude too.
Oh, yeah.
It was great meeting him and his wife at Florida Hunt. Was it 7, Charlie?
6.
Were we at all 6 together?
Yep.
That's right. That's where I met Mr. Charlie talking to his chest mount.
Don't let it go, will you?
No, that was a great day. GoPro, turn on. GoPro, turn off. GoPro.
Damn technology.
Who's this guy standing in the road talking, beating on his chest here?
Yep.
That guy's got issues.
Yeah, people around here never seen someone doing YouTube live stream either. So when I got my phone on my chest and I'm talking to people, I'm just getting looks the whole time at the park. Like this crazy guy's ranting to himself. Do we got to call the loony bin, to come hauling away before he does?
Right? Now, Marlon, do you feel awkward when they're kind of staring at you?
I kind of try to ignore it, but yeah, I can feel the eyes are burning holes in me, if you know.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Draws a lot of
one
attention because you're talking loud too, right? You're not like talking quietly to whispering to your phone. You're like being outgoing and hey, whoever, and oh, how you doing? And oh, thanks for coming. And
Yeah.
people are like making sure their kids are safe at the playground.
Patty
Great
said I had a
that
friend
way.
that would tell my GoPro to turn on and not turn on after I had it told it to turn off. Yep.
I didn't know you could voice command a GoPro, but I don't have one, so
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, FLX, you're supposed to put pants on when you're on the. You're supposed to put clothes on, so.
Yeah, Marlon, it's always fun to be hunting with somebody and walk up behind them and tell the GoPro to turn off right when they're
Sabotage.
Yeah, NorCal, we had a guy that followed us
Yeah,
around doing
exactly.
a commission.
Keep the kids
He
away
followed
from him.
Dalton
He's
around the
talking
whole
to
time he
himself.
was there, and Dalton just hated it.
Lewis. Keep the kids
Exactly.
away from that man. He's talking to himself.
Yeah.
That
That's
doesn't
the
work
vibe
in
you
California. Everybody talks to themselves.
Now, Marlon, do you have many detectors in your area?
No, like I said, in 5 years, I've never bumped into another person that was detecting. And
Wow.
Are you serious?
never crossed another hole that was dug previous, like you see a plug or something, whatever. No, nothing, nobody, not in my area.
None.
They have a Facebook group for City of Edmonton, like people that metal detect, but as much as I've detected in the city, I've never crossed paths with anyone. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Just
lucky man.
recently, the numismaniac, Patrick, the skipper, is from Edmonton. And he got a bounty hunter detector like as a Christmas present. And so I went out the first time he went kind of to help them figure out how to turn the thing on and stuff. And that was the first time I ever detected with, another human. So there you go.
Wow.
Wow.
Besides one buddy of mine that I drug out for a couple of my earliest metal detecting videos on my channel there. But I couldn't get him to come out a third time. So there's no, sorry.
That's it, huh?
No.
I was detecting. I was detecting
Hey,
a local
John.
park when Alex walked up to me and said, "Excuse me," and I look up and there's this beautiful young lady there. You mind if I watch you for a few minutes? I metal detect. I've never seen anybody else do this. And I'm like, okay. And that's how she saw me in a park near her house, and that's how we started detecting together. She just hadn't run into another detectorist. And
Yeah, there you go.
Marty wants to know if it's still snow at the ski resort there, Marlon.
No, spring skiing is over for a while now. No more bikini bunnies on the hill. It's all done.
Bummer.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get my kids. They're getting old enough. They should get into it, pick up a snowboard and go kind of thing. But hard to drag them away from their digital devices that they're so used to being on all
Right.
winter. Yeah.
Chris, there's certain people that just don't want to be on camera.
Mm.
We did that 1901 house yesterday, and we showed the homeowner the board. And out of everything I found, the only thing she wanted was this little cheapo, like aluminum Chinese coin replica that had a little bezel on it that had made around into a thing, but the bezel had broke. And she says, "Oh, my daughter, this used to be my daughter. She had two of these." I was like, "Sure, she can have it." And she didn't want any of the good stuff, so I didn't mind that at all. But wow, I got 5 magnet fishing bucket listers since Saturday.
Nice.
Marlon, I got old foreign silver yesterday. It's going to be coming up in an upcoming video.
Foreign, hey?
World War II foreign silver.
Oh, that's cool. In America.
Yeah,
Like
it was
someone-
on this 1901 house we were doing. I figured somebody probably brought it back from World War II.
Yeah,
It ran
someone
up-
who went overseas, hey?
It rang up a 15-16 on the Knox, which I think is the worst signal on the Equinox. That is always trash. But we were having a tough day grinding out. I said, let's just dig this, see what piece of trash it's going to be. And
Yeah.
I was extremely pleasantly surprised.
I will dig a
Okay.
15-16 all day at the beach.
Well, at the beach, yeah, Charlie, but not usually in the dirt.
No.
Does that come up as foil most of the time?
Foil, yeah, a piece of like aluminum hit by the
Cancel.
mower.
Yeah.
Canslaw, yeah. I thought so. I'm same when I use the Knox 600 here, exactly. Trying to remember, it's been a little while, but I dug a lot of garbage figuring
Well,
that
what's your
machine
primary
out.
machine now, Marlon?
Amphibio. I'm using that because it
Oh.
hits the Canadian stuff really good. That's my one complaint about the Knox is it doesn't like the nickel construction Canadian coins. So I'll miss quarters from the 60s and 70s, after silver ends, they're pure nickel. Not that I need those quarters, but I don't like leaving them behind. And
No.
I found the Knox 600, like 1969 quarter, pure nickel, and it makes a fart sound over it instead of a tone. Like, why? Why Mind Lab? And then I was saying before too, the iron core, the stuff with the newer clad, it you don't pick it up at all unless you're in all metal, and then it's giving you an iron signal. So, but something about the Amphibio picks up all those things with higher tones. So
I have to admit you're right, because if I do the beach marlin without being in all metal mode, which I don't like hunting in, I miss all the tent stakes. Denise will walk over to me and go, "Look, I got 7 tent stakes," and I'm like, "My machine didn't pick up."
yeah,
It just doesn't register that stainless register.
What it sounds like, Marlin, they have the Amphibio set up like Technetics and Fisher. They're tuned into round objects like coins. No matter what the material, it'll give you that coin sound.
Yeah. Yep. It's definitely good. And the thing that's, I mean, maybe it's one way or the other, but the Amphibio is like a solid machine. Like it's heavy and thick. You hammer nails in with it and not break it. You know what I mean? But the crossover there is it's heavy. I think the first time I used it, first 2 times I went out, it hurt my back almost, you know, swinging such a heavy detector. But
well, you know, the one big channel that used to use the Amphibio.
Yeah, he's in jail now.
He's in prison now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of other, what do they call them? Nocta Nomads in the UK. It's very popular in the UK. It hits them hammered coins really good. Yeah, it's really good for UK stuff. So, yeah, I also like my second favorite is it's an old one, but the E-Track. That's probably my second favorite machine to use. E-Track. I got it.
Yeah, you had an E-Track, didn't you? Or
I got an Explorer and an E-Track right here. These guys. Yeah, and they are fun to use with the dual readout. It lets you know how irony, you know, like, or that's a weird word, irony, but it gives you a Ferris level number and a conductivity number, right? So it lets you figure out what stuff is before you dig it a lot easier, I find.
Nice.
Right. Check out Weird Guy's channel, Weird Guy in Park. He is an E-Track pro. Since he got that, he had this park he's been detecting in for 20 years. And this year, I think already he's up to 13 silver dimes that were out of reach of his other detectors. He was using, I think, Simplex and a couple other things in there. So just because it's older doesn't mean it's not as good as these new machines, right? So
what's the one real heavy one that Mind Lab has, Charlie? Is it the CTX?
CTX, yeah.
That's the new version of E-Track. That's the new E-Track is CTX.
Jeremy brought that down to Clearwater Beach. First off, he handed it to me, and I almost dropped it. It was so damn heavy.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a car battery hanging off of it.
It is. He was running around that beach with that thing faster than I could use the Nox, and he heard some bottle caps that didn't even give him a whisper on the Nox, not even thought about on the Nox. I could not believe how deep that machine went.
Yeah, no means nomad. That's right, Tony. Yeah. And you know, he was already in jail. Rob was saying before, but he was in jail and Nocta didn't even know. They still were putting him on the posters and stuff, right? and then the second they found out what he went down for, he just disappeared from the Nocta websites, hey, really fast.
Oh, see, I never went to the Nocta website to check that. I do know that 2 days before he went to jail, or 2 days before he got arrested, he had just put another video up.
Oh, yeah. He was going, I think he was detecting well on bail. So there you go. Making videos, maybe. And he's doing back-to-back sentences. They put him for 60 years, hey? I read into it, so.
Oh, yeah. Somebody sent me the whole newspaper article and his picture in the paper and everything. And I mean, because he was already out on probation for the same thing. They'll get you for what we call a VOP, a VOP, violation of probation, will get you more time than a first offense.
Yeah. And also the nature of his crimes was grotesque. And so, yeah. Yeah, no, it's good he's off the street. But like he was on Liz's show. You know, I remember seeing, that's the first time I seen him. I didn't even know who he was. And Liz had him as a guest on there.
Yeah, and
Not
that's
even, not even going there with that one.
Yeah.
Tony's. I'll tell you the honest truth. I enjoyed his video. I mean,
I enjoyed
his videos.
I got no problem saying that.
No,
Thing
I
that I
had
liked
no
about the guy-
idea he existed until he was on Liz's show, and then shortly after that, he was gone from the world. So, yeah,
goodbye world.
What I liked
goodbye
about
world.
it was that
That's right.
Exactly.
he called his stuff because he knew that Amphibio so well. He called his coins and then he dug them live. And a lot of times that he called his coins, he was right.
Mhm.
And it was nice seeing a channel doing live digs. You didn't have to worry about whether he planted the shit. You knew he dug that.
Yeah, yeah. In my videos that I've made, I don't show any detecting. I just show the finds. Like I never show digging a hole, any of that stuff. I don't know. I never did get into live digging. I didn't really.
But
I did one live dig on my video yesterday. I did one. And
Yeah.
it was a good.
If
it was a
people
good
can't
find.
trust you, if they don't want to trust you, they can watch someone else. That's what I say.
A good point, Marlon.
The one thing, because I tried it, and I've been talking to Tripwire about it lately. Tripwire does a video. He's trying to do this live dig or semi-live dig. Well, you get nowhere trying to film everything constantly. It'll take you 2 months to do one park if you try to film every hole because you think something's coming up, or you're like, I dig Daytona. I love Brian, but his videos, it's like a 40-minute video, for 10 holes that he sand scoops. There's a whole lot of swinging.
I fast forward the whole time he's scooping and then just get to the point where he's bringing it up.
Yeah, because he doesn't edit. He just puts his GoPro clips together, and that's fine. He's not an editor. He said that before himself, right? That's not his thing. He's a detector.
I'll tell you, I was
Tony.
pretty new to metal detecting, beach detecting, and I went over to the other coast, and he had invited me to meet him, but we didn't actually set a time and place, and I went. And just so happened that the parking lot I chose at Daytona Beach and I went on the beach, and within 3 minutes of the beach, I ran into him, and he taught me a lot about beach metal detecting that first day out there.
Yeah, he's the reason I got a detector. I dig Daytona. And I had no beach, so it was playground after playground. We just kept hitting the sand. I got a sand scoop and that detector, and I just went to town. Didn't even think about digging grass. I was like, what do you mean? You can go dig in the park? Like, yeah. Yeah. I think it was watching Aquachigger that got me digging some dirt. So maybe not. Aquachigger also does that thing where he goes in the river and he's got a magnet on a stick and he pulls out he used to. I think he almost died getting pneumonia doing that. Maybe he's too old to do that anymore. But yeah.
Well, I've said this to people before, so I guess I don't watch him anymore. He pissed me off one time. He was out there with Nugget Noggin, and you know how now Nugget Noggin is. He takes that big mesh bag and takes all the trash and fills it up and dumps it all out. And when I was watching Aquachigger in that river once, and he picked up a can and showed it, and then he dropped it back down in the river, that pissed me off, and I never watched him again.
I know. You got to carry the trash out. You touched it, it's yours. That's my opinion.
Ooh, I like that phrase. I like that, Marlon.
Yeah. And like when I'm going, I'll detect a bit, and if I see an unreasonable amount of surface trash blowing around in the wind, I grab a bag from my truck and I go pick trash for 20 minutes, and then I'll go back to detecting, right? Because I like to leave it cleaner than I found it. And it's also paying it back. You're digging out all the treasure, so you should give something back, right?
Right.
Clean it up a bit.
I detected with Joe Strack. He's a subscriber of mine from, I think he lives up in Michigan or Indiana. And he came down here one time and he contacted me and said, hey, Rob, I'm down here. I'm about an hour and a half away from you. And I said, all right, well, I'm about 45 minutes north of Clearwater Beach. Why don't we meet there in the middle? And him and I detected Clearwater Beach on 4th of July. And I'd never met this guy before. And we're just walking side by side on the beach. Man, this guy, he picked up every single piece of plastic that he walked by and put it in his pouch and then threw it away.
Yep.
I have never even seen regulars on Clearwater Beach doing that. He impressed the hell out of me that night.
Well, there you go. Anything I step over, like surface foil, pieces of garbage, I got a spot in my pouch. I throw it. I pick trash the whole time, kind of. Trash chicken.
Dirt clod, I'd never edit a video in my life till I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah, some people ask me what I'm doing because they don't even know what metal detecting is, and I said I just tell them I'm doing a cleanup, just cleaning up.
I was doing a curb strip yesterday, and I had that bright orange shirt on that looks like the guys that work outside. And
Yeah.
this lady came out of her house. I was doing the curb strip, and she goes, "Sir, is everything okay with my water?"
Joel hit it right on the head.
Yes, ma'am, but we turned off for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So don't.
That's what I've had. Are you checking the services? Yeah, I'm checking the services, guys. That's what I'm here. Yeah, making sure the property pins haven't moved around. You know, they like to move around.
Miss Mercury, amen on the code of ethics. Charlie and I ran that poll about 5 or 6 weeks ago that are ethics important to you in metal detecting? And I was blown away when it came back 90-10. I really thought that was going to be like 99-1. And when 10% of the people said it wasn't important to me, that really surprised me.
Well, I'm a little flexible in some areas. I know I've fence jumped before, you know.
I haven't done that, but we have a couple guys in our club that if they see an abandoned house and they just, oh, well, it's abandoned, nobody owns it, and they go on it. Well, they did that to a guy last summer and didn't realize that the house was abandoned because the guy next door had bought it. So they're out there doing this empty lot, and the guy came out and said, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, we're just doing this abandoned house." The guy goes, "It's not an abandoned property. I own it. Get your effing asses off my property."
Yeah, so then you get pinched and you go. But at least, you know, you tried. At least you tried.
Robert's curb stripping on the curb again.
Chris said he had a guy ask him yesterday if he was trying to steal his internet.
Yes, I'm going to take it all for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this machine does.
I store it up here in the machine.
I like
says that 10% needs to stop detecting. He's absolutely right.
I like Marlon's thing about the property pins, though, because you could start detecting somebody's yard and they come out and bitch. They go, "Well, if you don't let me detect, I'm going to let the city know you built your fence and your garage 3 feet under the neighbor's property."
Yeah. I've had people come out and just ask me if I could find their pin for them, so they know where their yard ends and their neighbor's yard starts.
Yes, I've had a lot of people.
Right.
Yes, I've had a lot of people ask me to find their property markers. Marlon, you're right.
Just throw her on all metal and find the squeaker. Yeah, there you go. I've done it, and people appreciate it. You know, that you would say yes, not like "Go to hell, get out of here, don't bug me, I'm curb stripping here." You know.
Marlon,
you ever get any fist fights, Rob? You ever get in a fight on the strip?
On the strip, no. I had a homeless guy underneath the pier at Clearwater Beach get in my face one night.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see him laying there in the sand. I missed him, and I had my headlamp on.
Yeah.
And I just hear this voice out of the sand, "Get that effing light out of my face!" And I'm like,
"Oh
sorry,
yeah."
And he started, I'll F you up. I'll do this. I go, "Listen, pal, I'm carrying a 6-foot scoop here that's sharp on the end. Do what you feel you need to do."
Yeah.
But no, on the curb strips, I've had a few people come out. Jeremy and I were doing a curb strip the other day, and one lady came out and she said, "Why are you detecting in my yard? You didn't ask me." And he goes, "Man, this is the public easement."
Yep.
I have to take care of that. "Yes, ma'am, you do. The city requires you take care of it, but it's public property. This is where all the cables and fiber and water go."
Exactly. The city could come in there and dig it up at any second. Yep. So no problem with you.
I call the police, and Jeremy said to her, "That's great, ma'am, but they'll tell you the same thing I just did."
Yep.
And the cops in St. Pete know Troy and I. If they get a call from a neighbor, they come out and they drive up and they just wave. They go, "Oh, it's you guys," and they just wave, and they don't even get out of their car. They just keep driving by.
Coffee walks and whatever. How's it going?
Coffee walks and whatever.
Coffee walks. I've had. Most of the time, people just wonder what you're doing, like checking the services or stuff like that, and I tell them I'm just cleaning up, digging old pennies. Most people are fine with that.
It's funny, Lewis just asked that. He says, "I've been metal detecting." Somebody came out and asked, "How much do you charge?" I door knocked the permission. I was waiting on Troy to get there, so I door knocked this guy's house. I said, "Hey, we talked to you a year ago, and you were said we could come do your yard, but you left to go to the post office. You never came back." The guy goes, "I remember you." And I started talking to him, and he goes, "Well," he was like on the fence about whether we could do it, and he goes, "Well, what do you guys charge?" I go, "Charge? We don't charge anything to do this."
Yep. I have an ad in our local buy and sell website. Free daddy daughter metal detecting service, free of charge. I said, if you lost something, you kind of know where it is. We'll try. And if you have a house on a property that's older than 1960, we'll gladly come up and carefully dig it up for you. Minimal property damage, right? What can you might get a few plugs that turn yellow, but yeah. And surprisingly, in having that ad up for 2 years, I think I got 3 or 4 hits on it. Some of them sounded like too much of a wild goose chase. So I was like, oh no, sorry, I'm busy. But a cool one I did last winter, they called me out, was to a ski hill to find one of their snowmaker water valves that they had iced over with another snowmaker. And yeah, they offered me ski passes after, but I don't really go skiing. And they gave me permission to come back and do the hill anytime this year or whatever. But yeah, I found their water valve.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and that was
Well,
off of my
it is
ad.
For you.
They called my
Well,
ad.
this is like having Marlon on our show, and he's not even on our show. He's on Bill's.
Wow.
Yeah, we're talking so much. Bill's not even getting a word in edgewise here. Yeah, but do you run an ad? You ever consider doing that, Bill? Or,
You know what's funny? Simon has from the Weedy Boys. He's run an ad like that, Marlon,
Yep.
and he has gotten a few calls.
yeah, I wish I'd get more, but hey, it's the way it is. Yeah, I got footage to make a short video of that ski hill thing. I put it as a Facebook story one day, but I should do
Oh
that.
yeah.
I'm so far behind. I've got years of footage that I never edited because I watch it back again and I don't like it. At some point, you start comparing yourself to what other people are doing. Before, when I made my videos, I made about 20 metal or detecting and magnet fishing videos about. And after that, I kind of look back and I'm like,
Kind of cringy, huh?
Marlon, I look back at my first videos, and I'm picking up every zinc off the table, and I'm telling the camera what year every zinc is, and I'm like, oh my God, these videos are so bad.
I thought I was doing good. I thought I was doing all right, but I don't know. Changed my style up. The last few I did, I kind of liked. So, but then I recorded more footage and I didn't like the footage, so I never edited it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Too picky. That's what happened. I enjoy live streaming and sharing with the community, having guests on, doing that kind of stuff. That's fun. And then I go metal detecting for fun. And you know what happens when you're not trying to film? You cover more ground. You're more focused on the task at hand and not getting the perfect shot and all your B-roll footage. And I generally I was getting really stressed out trying to record what I was doing and then to make good videos out of it. Yeah, so
That's me, Marlon. 90% of the time, I don't bring a camera. I just don't.
Yep.
Well,
I'll record something for Snapchat and then use it as a Facebook story. That's what I've been doing this year. So if you're on Facebook or Snapchat, Don, he was here, Relic Reaper. I don't know if he's still here. You still here, Don?
Incognito.
Yeah. Don sees all my stuff that I put on Snapchat because he's on there. Snapchat's not just for kids. And actually, my Snapchat public stuff, I get thousands of views from random people on Snapchat just posting hashtag metal detecting and putting it on the Snapchat spotlight. So there you go. I have over 70 subscribers on Snapchat. I'm bragging about over 70 now. Yeah, but people actually follow me on there. It's weird. You need 5,000 to get featured on Snapchat. So I'm far off from that.
Wow.
But yeah, there is public Snapchat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not just for taking pictures of your butt secretly.
Right out of my head.
Yeah.
Well, Marlon,
I gotta go, guys.
Do you follow Brad from Green Mountain Metal Detecting?
Oh, here. He's probably not listening right now. I don't watch anyone that has more than, say, 6,000 subscribers. That's what turns me off, are the big channels now. I used to be into that, like Chigger, and stuff, watching I Dig Daytona. But really, I like watching the little guys and my friends. Like, it's such a community for me now. That's who I watch, is, the little guys. I like seeing what all my friends are doing. The people who don't have time for me, what they say, someone should pour into your cup just like you pour into theirs. That's all I'm going to say.
That's true.
Wow,
That's
I'm writing that down. Where's a pen? I'm writing that down.
Yes. I'm just full of them today. But yeah, man, I love the community aspect
we're
of
learning
it.
a lot about you tonight.
So, yeah, if you come to my shows, I've probably watched your videos. You know what I mean? I like to see what my friends are doing. So I don't always comment because sometimes what are you going to say? And I get really hung up and I'll sit there for like 5-10 minutes trying to think of something, the right thing to say. But I always smash the thumbs up.
there you
For
go.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. The big guys get enough views. Don't you think, Rob Green Mountain? He gets thousands of views, right? So he's fine without me. He's fine. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean,
point, though.
it is. It's a unique perspective. You're the only person I've ever heard say that. It's a very logical thing you say that. But I also, well, actually, this doesn't even concern the big channels. I know you go, we got all of our streams. The Clarks have a stream, Clark's Cove. Starry has a stream. Ryan has a stream from Southern Relics. I've got mine. You've got yours. We're all channels under 5,000 or 6,000.
Yeah, you
And
guys are all
everybody
my fam.
And then everybody says, okay, everybody make sure you subscribe to everybody else's channel. And that's a valid point. But if you don't expand your horizons, your entire group will never grow.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
You can only be as big as the biggest channel there if everybody just subscribes to each other. So I think it's like this gentleman here, Coffee Walks and whatever. That's a new name I've never heard, and it's nice seeing somebody new in here, and we're getting to meet somebody new. When Charlie
Adventure
and I were
Channel.
guests for Southern Relics, man, we met so many new channels that I was not exposed to, and small channels.
Hey, Frank. Bye, Frank. I'm out of here, guys. I got to get up
Oh,
early.
you're trying to say goodbye. I thought you were saying
I
goodbye to other
was.
people,
I've been
Charlie.
trying to get by about 10 minutes. I didn't want to interrupt you
Yeah.
guys.
You're talking like it's like sub for sub is the idea. To an extent, sub for sub isn't the best thing because you end up, if you just sub for sub everyone, then you get a lot of wishy-washy stuff. I am into trying to keep it treasure hunting, right? And so what is treasure hunting? I consider adventure to be treasure. So people who do adventure walks, going through abandoned buildings, that's treasure hunting. That adventure is your treasure, right? It's fine. But I find now I don't really sub for sub with food channels anymore. And I think I probably had like 100 different Filipino rice cooking channels that I was subscribed to from doing sub for sub. And then you get all this garbage that you'll never watch coming through your feed because you've subscribed to these channels, right? And so at the point I made the realization that if I'm going to sub for sub, the minimum thing is it has to be treasure hunting related. I think that fixed a lot of that. So before trying to get to 1K, I think lots of people would agree with me. You are like out there, you're getting dirty, subbing everything you can, if you know what I mean, hoping it subs you back. Right. And I had that mentality and I've grown since then. So, I'll say I've spent hours sitting there unsubscribing stuff that I would never watch, trying to clean up my feed. And it took months I had subscribed to well over nearly, I think it was 2,000 channels I probably was subscribed to. Right. And I just had to filter out anything that wasn't treasure hunting. So,
But you can also set that to where you can stay subscribed, but without getting notifications from them.
Oh yeah, like not ring the bell kind of thing, but it still pushes through. YouTube still does suggestions,
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I will say this, Marlon. This is probably one of the first conversations I've ever really had with you, face to face or screen to screen, and there are going to be some. Well, let me just put it this way: you said some honest things tonight that not everybody would agree with, and I can appreciate.
Oh, I know. I have differing opinions. Well, yeah, most people would probably hate me because I said I've fence jumped, right? But but people like PJ, right? The fence jumpers, right? They're fine to go in anywhere until they get kicked out, and they have
Well,
thousands of subs on their channel still.
I
Right?
don't,
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
agree
saying?
with that, but
Mhm.
I'm not here to judge you. But like somebody like Deej, she'd get really upset about that.
Well, yeah, if you're right hard line on the ethics and stuff, right? For
I mean,
sure.
she gets upset. I told this story and she got very upset with me. We had that guy that called the cops on us in St. Pete. We door knocked. Troy Dalton and I, we door knocked. The guy politely said no. We respected that. And then we went to go curb strip, and Troy and Dalton took off, and I started curb stripping in front of the guy's house. And the guy came out and he said, "Hey, I didn't want you doing my yard. I don't want you doing my curb strip either." And I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
"Okay, I can understand that. I'll go across the street." I left his property, even the curb strip I left, okay? And then 5 minutes later, two police cars pulled up.
Oh
And
yeah, I've had
I
the
went,
cops
"This
come while I was
a-hole."
live detecting.
I
Yeah.
told the guy I was leaving, and yet the a-hole still called the cops on me.
Yep.
So as soon as the cops left, I walked right back over to his curb strip, and I did every freaking square inch of his curb strip and dug every single hole that I could get a signal on, and I dared him to come out of that house. Now, Deej is like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
but
that's not good for." No, I'm sorry. You're an a-hole to me after I've been polite to you. I'm going to be an a-hole back.
yeah, for sure.
I just, if I'm polite to you and stuff like that, and you choose to be a real jerk when I've done my best to accommodate you,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, it's good he didn't come outside. I've had some grumpy people, and you tell them sorry, it's public property, and they go away. I had one guy call the cops because he thought he was right, but he was wrong. The cops came and they agreed with me. I'm not doing anything wrong being on a public
and other
easement.
people say to me,
Right?
"Well, really, Rob, why even do the curb strips? Is it worth the hassle? You're not making the community look good." And I go, "Listen, I've curb stripped for 5, 6 years, and I've had four
Yeah.
interactions with the police, and all 4 times I was right, and they agreed, and I've never had a problem."
I don't think it makes the community look bad. This is where people get in and out of their car door, and that's where treasure gets dropped. And in some neighborhoods that are old, like back to the 20s, the 1900s, they are full of silver, you know. But
Evening, Kenny.
I see it on other channels. Not for me, they're not full of silver up here in Ukrainian town. But yeah, what's that? Dig That Beep. They're very popular. Dig That Beep. They got a Facebook group. Where they're at, the curb strips are lined with silver. You know, if you
know
go
what?
to the right
It's
neighborhoods.
funny you say that because I don't belong to their Facebook page, but I follow Dig That Beep, and here's the reason why I follow them. They're relatable guys. They do relatable property, like you said. They just do small towns with, like you say, 20s, 30s, 40s houses. They find old ballparks. They're not out there doing colonial fields and getting stuff that I'm not going to have any chance of ever finding. They get excited, just about as excited as a Rosie as anybody else does getting a barber.
Yep.
And I actually talked to Charlie a couple weeks ago to see if I could get John on the show because he's doing the exact same kind of hunting I'm doing, and he's a relatable channel.
Yeah,
And
John Gurley. That's right. That's right.
So
there you go. That'd be cool if you got to collab with him.
because I feel the exact same way. These guys are out getting relatable properties. They're relatable guys, and you know, and
I
they're
used to
having
watch
do the
them a
same thing.
bunch.
I listen to some of them, and they say, "Hey guys, we're traveling a little bit away from town today, or we're 3 cities over," because they're in the same situation that Dalton and I are in. We've hit all the old towns, houses in our town, so now I had to go. I went 3 counties yesterday. I drove 80 miles to meet Kimberly to do an old town because they're just getting harder. You got to go further and further out once you hit more and more in your neighborhood.
Yeah, well, exactly. Then you clean that up, and then you got to drive further the next time. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, 2 occasions that I could feel the tension rising with 2 different dudes, and it was gonna be a hockey gloves off fist fight in another couple minutes, because I like to push my freedom, right? Like, no, sorry, you don't own this. You might think you own the world, but sorry, this is public property. But I think that some people are looking for it to go to blows. And so twice I walked away just, to the next property. Right. And then I pull out my camera and I pretend I'm recording and I talk about, hey guys, I just bumped into another total asshole that thinks they own the world. And I say it nice and loud so they can hear me say it. And I let them choke on that and be like, there, you'll be on YouTube now, buddy. See you later. Even though I don't post it, but That's they're looking for you to throw the first punch. You know, they're trying to, but yeah, that's not what I'm looking to do when
I'll
I'm
be
out
polite to
detecting.
anybody as long as they're polite to me.
Yeah, well, not polite, these couple people. So one here in my hometown and one in the city. So yeah, that's right, Patty. Yeah, like they get the chest puffed out, you know, like how an umpire and the coach will go, they're right ready to get in there. That's when I take the cue of, okay, fine, keep your pennies. I'm going to move on to the next yard, but I'm not leaving the neighborhood.
Howdy, Greg, out West Middle Tech, Greg. You know, it's funny you're talking
Hey,
about,
Greg.
the different things with the ethics. The county I live in, Marlon, I didn't know this, but literally 4 months before I started detecting, changed the ordinance to allow detecting. So when I started detecting the parks, I had to deal with a lot of park rangers and employees that weren't familiar with it. So I carried the ordinance in my backpack.
Yeah, they didn't
And then-
know the rules.
And then they would take the
changed.
paper and then they'd go, "Can I hold this a second?" I go, "Yeah, go call your boss." And he'd come back and he'd hand me the paper. "Sorry, we didn't tell about it." Well, anyway, the county south of us, from Denise's, is only like 10 minutes south of us. They don't allow metal detecting. But
Oh,
you
there
go in
you
the
go.
park or whatever, you start doing it, you'll get a ranger that'll come by and go, "Hey, listen, you're not supposed to do that, but I don't really care. Just cover up your holes, have a fun day. Just don't make me look bad." And then you'll get the other ranger comes right over. "Oh, you're not supposed to do that." But either way, I have never had a nasty park employee. It's just, "Hey, you can't do that. Have a nice day. Thanks." So I've never told people, don't just, you can't hunt this county. Don't do it. It's by ranger. You know, so I got no problem with that as far as ethics go. Because, like you said, to me, it's public property and we should be allowed to do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're cleaning up. If you pick up the trash that you step over, if you take the trash out of the ground and you put it, the rusty stuff, you put it in your pack and you're carrying it, you're leaving it cleaner. I said it earlier, the plug might turn a little bit yellow, if they don't get any rain after, but that's the worst you've done is make a little yellow mark on the grass. And a lot of people
Don
don't get
Swamp
it.
Rat Nation says, "I go someplace until I'm told not, till I'm told I can't." That's my
There you
philosophy.
go.
Perfectly.
Me too. That's why I've done an abandoned yard without expressed permission of it's abandoned, but someone still owns it. Like it may look abandoned, but someone usually has the deed to it, especially up here in Canada, right? They don't just stuff isn't really owned by the province. You know what I mean? It's someone's investment property that they haven't torn down the old house and built a new one, or they may have torn down the house and it's sitting empty. There's no for sale sign that they're selling the property. So it's like a feather in their investment cap, right? What do they care if I go through and I dig the trash out of it? They probably wouldn't care, but how do I even find them to ask them, right?
Yeah, and here, Marlon, a lot of the abandoned houses are taken over by the city or county anyway.
There you go.
It becomes public property.
Yeah, see? It all depends how you want to spin it. And I think if you're not wrecking stuff, you're not leaving holes, and you're cleaning up at the same time, yeah. I've never had someone chase me out of an abandoned yard. Not yet. You had that story that the neighbor owned it. Well, there you go. He told you to get out, you get out, right? There you go. That's not the other one I wanted to do was just to see if I was going to get in trouble, but everyone says, "Oh, I want to detect at the White House," or "I want to detect, something historical." I was going to go to our capital city and go right to the Parliament building and start digging up the lawn, see if security came out to talk to me, But I haven't worked to doing it yet.
I'd be willing to bet that'd be a yes.
I want to see. Maybe I'll do that this year. I'll go live. We'll do it live at the Parliament. Mayor's digging right in the front yard. We'll see if our members of Parliament will come out and ask me to stop. Yeah.
Lewis, our club is registered with the police with the sheriff's office to help to do exactly like if they need to find bullet casings or evidence or something like that. Yeah, our club is on file with the police department that if they ever need help with a search and assist, we'll be there to do that.
Oh, I figured a police department would have a guy that did that, like someone who worked for the force would detect. But no, they'll actually contract someone.
Like something like a more like something bigger where they had to get a lot of pieces. But yeah, I mean, when I was a police officer, Marlon, we had. I mean, I didn't know how to use it back then, 30 years ago, but we did have an old metal detector there that I'm sure somebody at the department hopefully knew how to use.
Yeah, like the forensic guys or whatever would get out there and detect maybe, but they might not do it as much as we do. We'd probably do a better. maybe even.
Have a good night, blistering barnacles.
Oh yeah, it's getting to 9 o'clock, isn't it? My time zone. It must be later for you guys, hey?
It's 11 here.
Yeah, 11. It's
There you
been
go,
fun.
Greg. I'm a buddy who's a deputy sheriff that gets me into a lot of places. There you go, Greg.
Ah, there you see. That's good. Once you're in with them and they're calling you, cool. I always
It's
thought
just
that it would
amazing
be.
how different. I mean, you listen to those guys over there in England, Great Britain, that
Oh,
just
you can't do
every
nothing.
every ounce of property, every square inch of property over there is historical, and they can't even do a park.
Yeah, that public parks are completely off limits. When I do a video or a live stream, I've had people say in the UK, "Oh my gosh, you can just detect a public park. The cops would be here in minutes if I did that in the UK." So
Yeah,
there
that
you
just
go.
blows my mind. I mean, it's public owned property.
But it's a lot bigger of a hobby there, I think. So they have to regulate it, or else there'd be 100 guys in there every day digging it right to.
Didn't somebody tell me you have to pay a tax for that? There's like
I don't know. I know they have to get permits to do the
like a
beaches,
permit
things like
tax.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, excuse me 1 second, guys. Go get some coffee.
Baby Yoda,
This is the way.
another Star Wars fan.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Yeah, if it's in your town, Crazy Bout, exactly. I'm already paying taxes for the parks in my town, so heck yeah, I can dig those up. You're right. That's right. I never thought of it that way. There you go. That's my ticket. I'm a tax-paying citizen in this town. I'll dig up whatever I want. Oh yeah, totally. And Mark Miller, Asylum, hello. Thanks for coming. Yeah. I think the things I do that some people wouldn't like, the hardline and ethics people, I make up for it by getting the good karma of cleaning up, right? Doesn't that count? Can't you, like, your evil be canceled out by your good, and then you're kind of neutral? What do you think, Bill? Is there a middle of the road? You're muted, Bill. You're muted.
Okay. No, I agree. Back in California, we had the trash at parks I ever saw because people were slobs. They'd be 3 feet from a trash can and miss it, not bother to pick it up. So, I always pick that stuff up, clean it up. So,
Yeah.
and if you clean it up, you should be able to detect her.
There you go. That's to say, paying it back.
Yeah.
Most people never even thought, probably took a minute to think that there's something in the dirt. You know, they use the above ground space in a park, and we use the below ground space. It's a different kind of use, but you're still using the park. You're both just, my friend Hot Dog Diggs, he's from Ontario, and it's way more popular to metal detect over there at the western end, big old Ontario. And they do frown on shovels in the park, right? If you have a shovel, Hot Dog says people only see the shovel, right? And you'll get people bothering you about digging up the park with a shovel. But if you're out there with just a hand digger, it's more acceptable, right? But over here on my small end of the country where no one around me even metal detects, I've never had someone comment that I have a shovel with me. Oh, what are you doing with a shovel in the park? I never, it's
I haven't either.
depends where you
I
are.
personally think a shovel makes a much neater plug than a hand digger.
There you go. Like I said about plugs turning yellow, that's when you've cut it too shallow and you've damaged the roots, right? If you cut a really nice plug with a shovel, it goes in nicely and it stays green. Yeah, it's tough to say, but it's optics. It's what people see. And they think a shovel is a destructive instrument, whereas a hand trowel is a gardening tool. So
Well,
You're
one slide.
You're right. It's all
I learned I've hunted parks where they say no digging. Well, you can metal detect, you can't dig. So
Yeah.
find the groundskeeper for that park and ask them. And usually they'll say, well, hand digger, and let me see how you do cut a plug. And if they like it, they'll let you go ahead.
Well, there you go. I've heard Tripwire say that before too. There's like where they do events and stuff. He'll go surface detecting after a big rock concert, and he just sets his machine to a minimum power, and he's just getting stuff from the top, right? He's not looking to dig, right?
Yeah.
Just to get what's been dropped. But yeah, I've never had someone say you can't dig in a park where I'm at. So, if it got popular, what am I saying? 10, 15 years from now, if it becomes more popular here, you might see regulations happening. I think that's
California, every city, county, township, they all have different rules back there. So it's like it's legal in this town, public, you can't do public property at all. The next town over you have, you can't dig. This one you need a permit, So if you live in a very congested, populated area, you need to find out town to town and everything what the rules are.
Yeah.
They don't always have them posted, which they still go by. Well, just because it isn't posted, ignorance of the law is no exception. So.
Yeah. I think that's where I think new detectorists get the experienced people in trouble because they see a couple of videos and they're like, oh, I want to go out and do that. And then they go out and break all the rules because they didn't know there were any rules.
Yeah.
And they don't. And so I think that's sometimes why an experienced detectorist kind of frowns on the noob situation because it reflects badly on them, they feel like, right? But they started as a noob too. So how are you going to criticize a brand new person? You were that person too one time.
Yeah.
Yep. So. You just gotta teach them, and even
that's where I think that's where we come in. We should always be talking about it in videos so that people who would watch would know. Oh, Jim, I've talked about using a backhoe. I've said that before.
And since this isn't
like, we got to get the JCB
Bill,
in here.
Since this isn't my stream, Bill, we could talk about the guy that charges $100 an hour to teach new people.
Oh, Vermont?
Yes.
Wow, really? Like he charges for classes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was $50 an hour, Marlon, with a minimum of 3 hours, and he just raised it to $100 an hour.
Ooh,
and
he thinks he's pretty special.
He flat out says, I'm in this hobby to make money. Make as much money as I can to move on, and he's not in it for the love of detecting. He doesn't give two shits about the hobby. He's here to make whatever he can from the hobby and move on.
Well, that's a pretty shitty statement to make, for sure. In the ad that I run for daddy-daughter free metal detecting service or whatever, like however you want to put it, I also offer to teach metal detecting to groups, individuals. Never in the 2 years my ad's been running has anyone ever asked for a metal detecting class. So that's where I'm at. And I'm not asking for money for it either, right? I just said, hey, we'll teach it, like I'm looking for a buddy is kind of what that part of the ad's about. Maybe I'd bump into a detecting buddy that way, train up a sidekick. But
Metal AF is here. JD, welcome.
Hey, JD.
D&L Treasures is here. The Asylum's here. Great Finds is here. We got some late nighters, Bill.
Yep. Which I'm glad you're all here, but we're past the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, exactly. I got to put my kids to bed. It's a school night, so I had fun coming on and ranting away. It was awesome.
Thanks for coming up, Martin. It was great.
I usually don't do my show. We have a plan. It's like we're going to do this, and it's over. We don't just sit there and jibber jabber. You know what I mean?
No, we always sit here jibber jabber.
Yeah, it's fun.
Charlie,
it's different.
Charlie and I don't even call each other the night before. We just get on Sunday morning and we're just winging it.
Oh yeah. No, I made all this for Sundays. I made my handful of different show formats, whether we're doing sticker shout outs. I haven't done an email show in a while, right? Or we have our hangout guest show, which is like the treasure show and tell. And I kind of rotate through them, and then
I think that's pretty cool.
It's but yeah, the only one that's like this is when we do Hunters Hangout. I call it the Hunters Hangout open panel when we do an open panel show. which I don't do nearly enough. And there was a reason. I guess it was a couple times ago, but I didn't do one for like 5 months. We had a bunch of people come up that weren't anything to do with treasure hunting. You know what I mean? You open the panel, and then the next thing you know, we got gospel singers and who knows what. And then they get the idea like, hey, I can just work this community for more subscribers for my channel. And so in the end, I kind of put a few channels on the block list from my show because, you know, I call it sub sucking. You know, then there's people who are out there just to get your subscribers that are your friends. You know, they're there to sub suck. They don't care about you or the show or the hobby or anything. And so I did eliminate a few channels' abilities to talk in my chat. I felt bad initially doing it, but yeah. So
Well,
Rob?
I've never had to ban anybody, but we had a guy that just came in, wouldn't say hi to anybody, wouldn't join the conversation. All he did was put his link up and said, I need
Post
to get
the
to
link.
1,000 subs. I need to get to
Yep.
1,000 subs. Come to my
Yep.
channel. And the
it's
day,
my birthday. Subscribe to my channel. It's your
the
birthday
day
every
he
day.
hit, the day he hit 1,000, he stopped going to my stream.
Yeah,
Yep.
easy.
No, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, remember, Rob, that one night we had it was 2 or 3 guys from India that came in here and kept trying to promote the channel, and never
Yep.
saw him before, never saw him again.
Yep. They're just looking to see who they can grab that's into doing, because we're a community show doesn't mean. That's what I'm saying. I've refined my sub for sub to treasure hunting, as in we're called the treasure hunters here. And so if you're not treasure hunting, then yeah. And so ones that were repeatedly coming and trying to get, like you're saying, to 1,000, sorry, we cut you off. Sorry, we had to do that. But then I noticed, because that same person was then on other people's channels, live streams that would come to my show doing the same thing. So then I've introduced this parasite to the community, and they see who's in your chat and then go to those channels. And then, you know, and it gets out of control. So now I do exercise a little better judgment with the whole thing. And yeah, it's been going good. It's going good. Don't make me block you.
No, I tell
Yeah.
Charlie, you know, we BSS, I guess, after the stream, and I said, Marlon's got a very high energy stream. I mean, I know Tripwire is high energy too, and even Miss Aurora, boy, I'm telling you, she gets fired up too.
Yeah, she used to be. She got a little shy in between, like, you know, when you're going from just a kid who doesn't care about anything to like a preteen, you kind of, and she's coming out of her shell again now, which is good. For me, I remember I never used to like be as crazy until, if you go back to my Halloween live stream where I did the Insane Mayor and we did our what was it called, the Scream Cam, right?
Nice.
From about that point, I've snapped in the head and I yell a lot on my show now, but I think people enjoy it in the end, you know, and some people don't, and then you don't have to watch, right? We're just talking now, but I yell my voice off on a Sunday. By the time I'm hoarse, by the time my show's done. So, but Tripwire's a loud guy, so if I'm not yelling, no one hears me over him anyway.
Denise tells me I'm way too loud on the computer.
You gotta be. People don't want to hear you just whispering. Oh my God, guys.
Even Nathan.
I've had people come in my videos. Well, I don't like when you do this. Well, then don't watch.
I was too worried about everyone being impressed and trying to be kind of neutral all the time. And as soon as I just pulled the pin and just went crazy, and if you don't like it, you don't have to come. I don't even concern myself about what my channel's subscriber number is anymore. I was, you know, doing the every so many giveaways, and you know, what do you call it? Every, like, Rob, weren't you were trying to do every 100, or what was it?
Yeah, and I'm 800 behind right now.
Yeah. And see, I fell off that train. I never got to my 1,500 subscriber giveaway, and now we're at 18 and change or whatever. And it's the same thing, but I do 3-4 giveaways every Sunday now. So do I really need to do a subscriber number giveaway? And
well, I'm still going to try and get back to it, but the bigger you get and the more things you're doing, like the I mean, I started that way obviously before I had a stream.
Milestone,
But,
that's right.
Remember this,
Yeah.
folks. When Rob's at 4,000, he'll be doing his 3,000 subscriber giveaway.
You get further and further behind. It's hard to keep up on that. So yeah,
Nathan, that's in here, Marlon Dog
that's
is my
right. There you
co-pilot.
go, Marty.
He was one of my first 20 subs.
Yeah. Oh, and so I did that thing where it's controversial because I've said it lots too. Anyone that buys silver coins for giveaways could just as easily be slipping those silver coins into their videos. And so it creates this conflict of interest of, buying silver versus trying to have an honest channel where you're not hiding, and spicing up your videos. Because many people, not many, but there's lots of channels. I shouldn't say lots either. Channels in the community that have been totally burned for hiding stuff in their videos that they didn't actually find. One of my heroes was Etex with Kevin.
I was just going to say that name. I was going to.
I know you know it. You've talked about it before multiple times. He was one of my favorite channels. He screwed up one time, that he put that one love token or whatever it was. And
yes, but that also makes you question: has
every single
all these rings and parks he's been finding, are all those rings planted?
Thanks, Patty. Yeah, so this is where it comes down to it for me too, is I think now, channels that are buying silver coins to give them away, they could be doing exactly what Kevin did, but you have to trust someone's integrity and honesty. And, so I bought silver to give away recently, right? And so now, I find that puts me in a position where someone could say, Marlon, that silver you bought, how do we know it's not what's going in your videos?
Well, let me tell you this, Marlon, and that's why if you watch a lot of channels that prank each other sometimes, I mean, not every now and then, but like I watch the guys on that group up there, that Not Thursday group up there in New England. They punked one of their guys once and put a good fine down there, and then everybody was in on it except that guy, and then they all got a great big laugh. Well, that's great. And I actually had somebody send me a coin, and it's a coin that Dalton really wants to find. They actually sent me the coin and say, why aren't I seeing that video with you putting that coin? Because you're not going to see that. Because, like you say, I'm sure there's people that know that I go out and buy silver for my giveaways, but I want to make sure that that's completely separate and nobody ever thinks. And that's why I will tell people.
And if someone...
I can promise you one thing about my channel, and that is anything you see on my channel that I show that came out of the dirt, came out of the dirt. That's the only thing I'll ever promise about my channel, because that's extremely important to me. And
if your viewers should trust you.
Yeah, that's right. Look at East Texas. What pissed me off is that, not only did he upset all these people that were subscribed to him that thought he was a great channel, he initially took all his videos off. And then he tested the water by putting a couple back on.
Yeah,
and then he
because
realized that he could hit the button for no comments. That if nobody went to Facebook.
But why did he have to do that, Rob? It's because people like us. I'm not saying I did it, but people like us were leaving real shit ass comments and saying rude things and on all his videos after, trying to continually out him over and over. A criminal may commit a crime and they do their time. At what point do we allow Kev back into the community is what I'm asking. Because does he have a life sentence for hiding one coin from eBay in his videos? Are we giving him a double life sentence? Is he never allowed to come back? That's why he can't turn on his comments. The second he turns on his comments, the haters all pour in. He still has people who watch that don't care or know that ever happened.
And you know what?
Thousands of views still.
Says that if you watch him just for the entertainment value, and that's Pat's point, and my point is, yes, technically we're an entertainment category because we don't fall in any other category.
Yeah.
I don't personally want to watch something that somebody planted. I don't.
Yeah. There you go. So you don't watch, and you know what happened, and you don't watch. What about all these channels, foreign countries that are digging up amphora of coins after amphora of coins? It's the same thing. It's an entertainment value. People like us know there's no way you're digging up one of those every week.
I mean, like archaeolog.
Right?
You ever
And
see
I've
that guy?
commented saying, "Oh, it's really crazy how you find so many of these." And the guy said back, "Well, in my country, there was lots of raiders, so it was very common for people to bury things like this.
Yeah.
And then they were killed by the raiders, and no one came back. So he had to dig it up. So he had a really good backstory for all
Yeah.
these amphoras of coins he was finding. But it doesn't sit right with me, so I don't watch it. Right?
Yeah. He said, was
Yeah.
that Archaeolog?
I don't know. I don't remember. There's multiple channels that are doing that.
Because the guy
So-
is always finding gold coins, this and that, just tons
Yeah.
of stuff. Got 3 million subscribers.
Yeah,
Sure.
and there's a couple meteorite channels too that find all these meteorites all the time. And I'm looking at these things being like, I could say any rock is a meteorite and probably get 1 million subscribers, right? You get the gullible watchers, right?
Yeah.
That
That's
just
why
hit the
I
button.
say, if you want to watch a metal detecting channel that plants finds, to me, that's no different than watching wrestling. I mean, you already know what the outcome.
There you
is gonna
go. Just like wrestling. Exactly. Put
be.
on a
They
good
have their
show.
fans.
You put on a good show and the fans will come, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I like to get to know who I'm watching. And how do you get to know these people? Usually through live streams, right? So most of the people I watch actually do live streams, right? Have gone live on their channels.
Great
You know.
Finds says right there is the guy that drug his pinpointer on the ground right next to where he supposedly found the target. That one was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that one channel. The guy ties it on a string and he walks around. It's only going an inch or two into the ground. And then they dig a 2-foot hole down and find a giant thing full of coin. And you're like, I know how a pinpointer works. I'm sorry. And actually, one guy who I'm actually really good friends with, he's a magnet fisher. It's Mad Hatter in the UK. He has a stick and he's taped the pinpointer around it. And like, that's he'll go detecting. He just gets stuff from near the surface with it. Right. But I call it the magic finger. When you go magic finger detecting, you got a pinpointer on a broom handle, you'll find some surface coins,
That's hilarious.
But he's not pretending to dig up Roman coins from a foot down with only a pinpointer. So, yeah. That string channel is hilarious, though. I know what you're talking about. That's a funny one. Oh, what have we gotten into with this chat here, right? But I promise you guys, if I ever show anything that I dug, I actually dug it. And if you don't trust me, don't leave horrible comments. Just go watch someone else.
And that's like I say, I've told people I won't do
Yeah.
two things. I'll never ever plant a find, and one,
Yeah.
I'll never just sit on a channel. And this is no offense to anybody else that does this, but it's not my personality. I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit on a channel and just ask or beg people for money.
Yeah.
I love JD's variety channel. I love him to death. I've been following him for years, and he can sit there on a live stream and ask people for money. I can't do that. So
No, I know. We don't
I mean,
beg. We
somebody
shouldn't
sends me a
beg.
$5 super chat.
And
I'm firing them off a sticker. Okay, I want to get something back for that.
yeah, exactly. And the other thing is too, have you gotten into channel membership yet, Rob?
No, I'm thinking about it as soon as I hit the 3,000 mark, Marlon.
Yeah, because it's built right into the rules that you're not allowed to do giveaways to entice people to be members. They have that written into the. Right.
Ah,
So when you type in what your perks are going to be, perks of membership, you can't type the opportunity to win shit as a perk.
very interesting.
They will
Thank you. I didn't know
deny.
that.
They will deny it because they review your perks when you go to set up your levels. What do you get for $2? What do you get for $5? What do you get for 10? You can't say anything about giveaways in there. It's expressly in the rules, right? So, my channel, right? We do once a month. I do an appreciation giveaway, right? Where I'm appreciating the members, and I make it. You had to be a member already from the day before because I'm not trying to get people to member with a giveaway. I'm being very careful about my, you know what I mean? My surprise and my appreciation giveaways. I'm not trying to sell memberships.
I just learned two things I should do there. So
Yeah.
that's one reason why I like these chats.
Yeah.
I'm in an age of my
It's,
life, Marlon, where I just want to acquire
it was a
knowledge.
conflict for me, right? Because I don't want to sit there saying be a member, or doing membership drives like, oh, come on. I was just let it happen naturally. If people want to hit the join button, and then once a month, we do have the members appreciation race, right? But it's technically, it can't be for gaining members. They have it in the rules. So always remember that. You must be a member from before that day. That's my, I think, way of making it jive with my own ethics.
You know, it's
So-
funny you say that, because being a AAA member, I guess up there it's CAA, but being a AAA member down here, you could sign up for AAA over the phone and then call them 20 minutes later because your card broke down, and it was already broke down when you called them. But they got wise to people doing that. So you have a 72-hour ban from when you sign up to where you can use them, just to keep people from doing exactly, you know, like you
Yeah.
said, that they're signing up to get it on that day.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't want to be accused of being a money sponge, like I'm trying to steal from the community. I'm not looking to make any money with the channel. Every cent that comes in through anything like super chats, I've always put it right back into stamps and stickers and paying for my StreamYard, which is $200 a year, right? For paid StreamYard. Paying for my editing software that I make all my promo videos. It's every 3 months. I have to pay $15-16, right? So like everything, I'm trying to run at a not-for-profit level. So recently I started doing the surprise giveaways with the extra membership money. So we've given away some t-shirts and sent out extra giveaways per show to burn up the extra cash, right? Because I'm not looking to buy a Manticore with membership money. That's not what it's about. You know, I don't know. I want to sleep at night. I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of people, and I don't want to be accused of it ever either. That would hurt more, you know. That would. So there you go. I'm spilling my guts on Bill's channel here, guys.
Well,
I'm
well
in it
Bill,
for
I'm
the
going to
fun. I
make a
just
little.
bought a treasure hunting vehicle. I bought a Japanese fire truck, and it's got awesome toolboxes on it that I can put my detectors and all my magnet fishing gear. And I assure everyone, not 1 cent of YouTube anything went towards that, the vehicle purchase, right? Like I'm not some rich YouTuber buying a vehicle on YouTube money here, right? I've been saving to get another vehicle for a while, and I finally pulled the pin. Did you see my fire truck yet, Rob?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh, totally funny. I just put a siren on it. They had taken the sirens and lights off, but I needed the sound effects, right? So I put a siren back on it. And the kids on the street, when they do this, they want to hear the damn noise, right? So I had to put something back on it. Here, I'll show you a picture. Oh, here we go. I wonder, I've never shown stuff on my phone. But here, Japanese fire truck.
That is freaking awesome.
That
And
is.
it's got the toolboxes on it, and they go right through from one side to the other, so you can put detectors right across through it. It's I had it on my last live stream when I went out. Oh yeah. And totally, I'm the first Canadian owner. It's 20 years old, only had 10,000 miles on it because it just sat in a Japanese fire hall and they drank sake around it while polishing it.
Mhm.
And
I was going to say,
I
it looked
didn't
brand
import
new.
it personally. The guy who imported it couldn't keep it. He needed money for a mortgage down payment. So I snapped it out from under him, and it's mine now. I'm driving it to work even. I drive to work in a fire truck. Woo! Yeah, like a crazy person. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so here's you can see the toolboxes are open there. So you can throw all your detectors, your gear, and everything right in there. And I got plans to take the hose rack walls off the back, and then I'll be able to put a quad or an ATV on the flat deck on the back.
Nice.
I've got plans for it. I'm calling it the Treasure Seeker 2. So I have a dedicated treasure hunting vehicle, but it also drives me to work. And so after work, I have all my stuff with me that I need to go hitting curb strips in the city, head right over to Parliament, do whatever. I was joking about that before. Oh, here. Yeah, here's from the back. So it's got these hose rack walls on it. And if I take those off, it's got a flat deck. And in the middle is a hydraulic lift for lifting the water tank in and out. So I got to take that out too. But yes, it will evolve. You guys will see it some more.
Cool.
Yeah. There we go. Who's that crazy? Who would do that? I don't
Hey,
know.
Bill,
Yes,
can I make a comment on a comment here?
sure.
Do it.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, NorCal and Greg from out west. I've met Brad from the Hoover Boys. I've hunted with Brad from the Hoover Boys, and I have found him to be a stand-up guy. And I've met 3 out of the 5 Hoover Boys. When I went to one of their club meetings with no notice, that entire club embraced me like I was a long-lost brother. Kurt invited me onto a hunt that he had for 350 acres. I've heard that he only invites you if you invite him or you can get him things. He didn't know me from Adam. Invited me to a 350 acre, and I spent the day hunting with him. He gave me an Indian head penny as a gift that I'd never even dug one before. I was a brand newbie. So you can think he's a douchebag if you want, but I'm gonna say all my interactions with Brad and the Hoover Boys, or excuse me, Kurt is a good guy. I met Brad too, and I thought he was a good guy. He took out his gold tester. I found a gold ring in a tot lot that day. He took out his gold tester for me, tested it, explained to me what the difference between was gold plated and gold filled. So, yep,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I got nothing good to say
Good, bad
except
idea.
good for the Hoover Boys.
And on that note, good night, Matt. Bad idea, lab. People, it's getting late. It's 10:30 here.
Yeah, I kept us ranting too. Yeah, Hoover Boys is a really big channel, and sometimes, not everyone's going to agree with everything. Maybe he's great most of the time, and then some people notice if you do something silly, especially when you're that big. The spotlight is on you,
Yeah.
right? So, but you had good experiences with them, and some people might have noticed other things. So that's the way it goes. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Thanks for having me on, Bill.
Thanks
We're
for
all
coming
part
up,
of this
Marvin.
big community, and we really should play nice together. I
Yep.
still check every one of Kev's videos, e-text, to see if he's turned his comments back on so I can welcome him back to the community. But maybe that's because I'm too nice, I trashed on him initially too, to all my friends, oh, he hid stuff in his video. But you know what? My arms are open. I would welcome him back at this point because he taught me a lot about detecting at the same time. So, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to welcome back that amphibio pervert that's in jail. He can burn for what he did.
I
There
don't
you
think
go.
we ever have to worry about him coming back, Mark.
No, we don't.
So,
And with that, the mayor's out. Ah!
good night, Marlon. Good night, Rob.
Have a good night, Bill. Thanks for having me up.
Thanks for being here. Good night,
Take
everybody.
care, everybody.